Hello, hello. Ohayo. It's morning somewhere, right? Welcome. I'm Yola of Oz. And today, well, I had so much fun on my first two streams. Today is my third stream ever. And on my first stream, I did have a little part at the end where I did a just chatting section. So I thought I'd like to do that again today. And I talked a lot at that time about living in Japan and visiting Korea. Like I have a lot of funny stories from the years when I lived in Japan. So, yeah, a lot of funny stories that I could share with you guys. And but I guess first I want to talk a little bit more about um I guess like being a new VTuber. I was so nervous yesterday. It was I had to laugh at myself because I was more nervous during the second stream than the first stream. Um, I'm less nervous. Well, I'm a little nervous now too, but I'm less nervous today. But yesterday I forgot all the things that I wanted to to mention, and I just pretty much went straight to the gameplay. I played Child of Light. I really love that game. It's so beautiful. I'll be playing it again in the next few streams as well. But one issue, like one mistake that I made yesterday was I streamed under the wrong Twitch category the entire time. Like the entire time I was under the wrong category. So, but you know, that's how things go and that's how you learn, right? So now I know. And I didn't realize either that you can change the category after you've started the stream. So I didn't know that, but now I do. So if that ever happens again, I can just, if I notice I'm under the wrong category, I can just change it while I'm still streaming. Yeah, so I think I figured that things like that would happen, and that's why I didn't make a schedule for my first week of streaming. I have a template ready, but I just couldn't bring myself to post it anywhere. and now I'm glad that I did wait because there were some little things that I changed. I'm still trying to figure out the music volume versus my voice and things like that. Yeah. So I am really new to this. Oh, hi Guardian Joel. Thank you so much for following. Yay! Thank you, welcome. Yeah, so there's so many things that I'm still learning. I'm figuring out things all the time. I'm still trying to figure out chat customization. Hi Joel. So hello, and do you have a Discord? Don't have a Discord yet. I wanted to wait until I get 50 followers. So, thanks very much. You're my 10th follower. Yay! It was really funny on my first stream. My goal was to have 5 followers, and I'm already at 10. So I'm really happy. So I will make a Discord when I reach 50 followers. I don't know how long that will take, but I'll definitely talk about it on stream when I do get one. So that's a great question. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out Twitch. Oh, hi, Glimmy Cat. Yay, welcome back. Yes, I am doing well. Thank you. I'm a lot less nervous today. I was so nervous during my stream yesterday. Yeah, I enjoyed chatting with Glimmy Cat was at my first stream, and I really enjoyed talking, and that's why I thought I would do a just chatting stream today. I'm so happy that you're here to join again. Yes, I did. I see that you set up your banner. So cute. Yes, I did. It's a funny story about that. So, when I did my first stream, I didn't have like my transition really set up, and I didn't have my opening and my closing. And then the funniest thing was right after I finished my first stream, they were both delivered. Like they were both waiting for me in my email inbox. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, if I had just waited a couple more hours, I could have my first stream could have had all of those things. But I used them. I'm using them today. So yay! I'm super happy, and I really love the opening and closing and everything. They're so gorgeous. I'm really happy with them. So yeah. What else? I did reach out to the artists on Skip. I don't know if you guys know that website, skeb.jp. Yeah, so you can commission Japanese artists to make whatever. But they have to accept. Like they can, if they can say no if they don't want to take the commission on. But yeah, you can just. I think that site is such. You can get addicted to it. I think that site can be a little dangerous because your money it'll just fly away, like quickly, super quick, super fast. That's what happened to me anyway. Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out the chat customization for stream on Twitch, and I'm trying to figure out how the ads work. I would like it if I could play ads at the beginning and then never again during the stream. I don't know if that's possible, but if it is, I definitely want to do that. There other things that I still need to set up are, like I know that VTubers are supposed to have hashtags. I don't have any hashtags. I'm gonna have to think about those. Yeah. And I did end up updating the About Me section on Twitch. I didn't have that set up before. The first thing I did was set up the credits, because of course you have to credit all the wonderful artists. So I did set up that first, and then during the week I was able to fill in the rest. For the panels, I used art that I had commissioned and then just made the rest of the panel myself. So I would like to get the graphic part updated in the future, because when I look at other people's profiles on Twitch, they have so many, like the VTubers have so many gorgeous panels. So I would also like to get those, but no rush, right? I can get those later. A couple other things were like, I keep meaning to check how hot my computer gets when I'm streaming. I want to just see if my computer is running super hot. And I keep forgetting to check. So I'm gonna try and remember to do that today. How about you guys? How are you guys doing today? How are you? There's another thing was, I stream in I don't know the correct wording, but like 720p. That's the resolution that I'm streaming in. So I would like today's stream is also 720p, but I would like to see if I'm able to stream in, is it 1080? I think it's in the higher resolution. I think it's 1080. So I would like to see if my computer can handle that. Tom, welcome Tom. Doing good, thanks for asking. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear you're doing good. Yes. Yes, today. I don't know what time it is for everybody. Have you had dinner or breakfast? For the About Me section in Twitch, I couldn't really think of... I know you're supposed to have rules for chat, but I couldn't really think of any rules, so I only put 2. I think that's good for now. I mean, I don't know. What other rules are there? Just like, hope that people be nice to each other and go from there. I'm also really curious on how other people got into VTubers. Like, I think I had one person on... I had one viewer yesterday, and I don't think that they were used to VTubers. Might have been... They were just interested in the game that was being played. So, I'm always interested in finding out how people discovered VTubers. For me, I only discovered very, very recently. That's why I'm so new to everything, and I don't know how everything works. I I discovered VTubers in September of this year, and then I just loved everything. So when I fell down the rabbit hole, I said I want to do this too. This looks so fun, and here I am. So, oh, welcome, Bone Miser, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I think you're my 11th follower. Yay! Just passing through. Well, welcome. Thanks for passing through. I like that you put yo. I love that. I love words that have yo in them. Tom, I've been following VTubers ever since a little after, wow, Kizuna Ai started getting known overseas. Isn't she like one of the first ones or the first one? So you've been following like pretty much since the beginning when she got noticed overseas. Wow, that's amazing. I only read about her, but I know that she still streams even now, right? She's one of the first ones that became pretty big out west. Oh, see? I didn't even know that. I didn't know. I don't think she only speaks Japanese, right? So she's definitely one of the people that created and shaped the genre itself from the beginning. That's awesome. I should probably watch some of her videos for inspiration. I think she does she have 3D as well? I think she's one of the ones that can do like dancing, right? And music videos. I think I saw something on YouTube for that for recommendations. Yeah. I just yeah, like I said, I only discovered them pretty recently. I do remember a friend of mine did mention VTubers, but they were talking about those super famous I don't know if they're on Twitch or if they're on YouTube, but they made VTuber avatars and they only use them like once or twice or something. So my friend mentioned that to me, but I had no interest. I was like, oh, real life streamers that sometimes use anime. I didn't get it. Yeah, she was doing it before 2D avatars were really a thing. Yeah, Ai is basically pure 3D. Probably the highest quality around still. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, welcome, by the way. Okay, so probably the highest quality. So big budget. I think she's part of a company, right? I mean, yeah, I think most people who have 3D are with a company. Or they have a big, huge budget on their own. I haven't seen many 3D videos myself. I don't know if I've seen any. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure that she has a huge fan base and things that I would like to have at some point, like I mentioned, hashtags. Yeah, and I would love to also make some friends with other VTubers because like even like here talking to them and asking them what was your reaction when you saw your avatar, your character after it got live 2D? Because I know for me, my reaction, I think when I saw the sketches, I like gasped. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. And then after I got the live 2D and I could move and everything, I think I screamed. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, I'm anime. Like that was my reaction. I was so impressed and so delighted, so happy. And it's the coolest thing. It's really the coolest thing. I love it. I love it so much. Especially when you can just be yourself. Like I talked about this in my first stream, but I guess I'm like a secret otaku. Like I don't talk about my hobbies, and so people wouldn't really know that I watch anime and things like that. Even when I lived in Japan, I hid my hobbies from pretty much everybody. Even the friends that I made, unless they were also nerds who. Actually, no. You know what? I don't think I had any friends who went to Akiba. I used to just go there by myself. Yeah, I'd go there like after work. Most of my friends were like people who would go to izakaya, like bars and stuff like that. But the more that I think about it, it's very possible that a lot of them were like me, right? Everybody's pretending to be normies, instead of just being like, hey, I read comics. So I think about that sometimes, because I do suspect. I'm like, oh, I wonder if she reads comics, because sometimes I would see people on the trains, and they were reading comics openly, right? So they looked complete. They didn't look like what people say we look like on the internet, otaku, right, or weebs or whatever. They look completely normal. So yeah, I love being a VTuber. It's great. Yeah. If anybody has any questions about living in Japan or anything, feel free to ask. I can answer what I can. Yeah. And I still have to watch there was a anime that was recommended to me a couple days ago. I haven't watched it yet. It's about an aquarium. But it just reminded me of something that when I was a small witch, I guess I could say, I had a babysitter, and she wasn't really fun, but I remember going to her house, and she had a very tiny frog swimming in a large aquarium, and I remember being surprised because the aquarium was almost all water. So I guess the frog could live in water. It didn't need land. And it was super tiny though. But it lived underwater all the time, and it swam and swam and swam. And so I would go to her house just for that. I remember being really fascinated, and I asked for one at home. I was like, "Can we get a tiny frog too?" But I was told no, because we traveled too much. And so I know that water isn't good for witches from Oz like me. But I still like to go to aquariums now, just to admire the frogs. My favorite frogs are the bright ones, like the poisonous ones. But I remember being really disappointed when I went to an aquarium, because it said how underneath the frogs on the sign, it said that they're not poisonous anymore, because they're only poisonous if they are in nature, because it's the things that they eat. So the ones in the aquarium aren't poisonous because they don't eat the poisonous food. Boo! Let's see. People always talk about the cool aspects of living in Japan. Were there any downsides that people don't normally talk about? Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's not a super fantasy land that a lot of people think it is. There's a lot of downsides. Some of them it depends on it. A lot of them it depends on what you look like. So for me, I didn't really have any issues, but for some of my friends, they did. Like if they sat on the subway, sometimes Japanese people would get up. They didn't want to sit near them, or that happened to me once. I went to an onsen, like a hot spring, with a German friend of mine, and so when they saw her, they got up, and some of them got up and left the hot spring. So they didn't want to be in the water with her, maybe. So that was crazy. And then there's also some other things like well, this one is like a first world problem, where one of my friends had been living in Japan for, like, let's say 10 years or something like that. Like, she'd been there for a while. Her Japanese is quite good. And it didn't matter that she went to the same grocery store over and over and over. They never asked her if she wanted a membership card, or they never asked her if she had a membership card. So even though she'd been going there for 10 years, and they totally knew her, they recognized her, but they still treated her that way. So she always she told me that she always felt like she was an outsider. That she could be, yeah, she was made to feel like an outsider for some things. yeah, I could go on. Like, there's other things, like, but I think it's not just Japan for some things. It's everywhere. Like, paperwork, right? Paperwork for visas and whatnot sucks. But it's not just there. Like, I used to live in Paris, France, and it was just as bad. The bureaucracy, yeah, paperwork sucks. Government paperwork sucks, especially. So there's things like that as well. There's more that I could say, but those are the first few ones that come to my mind. But on the other side of that, I'd like to talk about some happy things too. So, sorry, I'm just gonna take a sip of my tea here. Yeah, there are some happy things too. Like being a foreigner sometimes can get you free things. For example, one time I was at a festival. I was at a festival, and like I don't know what it is in English, but in Japanese it's like bon odori, and I think it was in Roppongi. I think I was in Roppongi, and there were some people who just offered me free food. They're like, "Oh, you're wearing yukata and you look really cool. Here, have some chicken." So I don't think that would happen to normal people. That only happened because they could tell I was foreign, right? So there are some really funny things that can happen. Another thing too would be like, yeah, it was super fun, and my boss, so my boss in Japan at the time, his mother was like hardcore traditional. So she wore kimono every day. And so because I'm a foreigner, right? She was like, "Oh, do you want to wear kimono?" And if I was Japanese, I don't think she would have asked me that. But because I worked for her son, so she's like, "Do you want to wear kimono? Because you're a foreigner, you haven't worn it before." And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Of course. I would love to try kimono." And so she met up with her friend, and she told me this after. She was really, really nice. She told me to call her Ba-chan, which is like grandmother. And she met up with her friend, and then she told me that they spent a super, super, super long time trying to decide which kimono would suit me best. Like, how adorable is that? How nice and kind is that? So I don't get treated like that in my home country. So I have a lot of wonderful memories from that. Yeah, she was lovely. I love her. And she used to tell me she told me really, really funny stories. I'll share one with you guys. So she said that when she was young, she didn't live in Tokyo. She lived in, a really tiny town. And her house was a traditional house. So it had, I don't remember what they're called, but the paper, I don't think it's called tatami, but the paper walls? I can't remember what those are called. But she had those, and then she had a cat. And the cat would want to go outside, and it would just go through the paper door. And so she told me that they had to constantly repair the sliding door because the cat kept going through it. Oh, hi, Rusty. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, so that story made me laugh so hard. And I actually emailed her the other day because I was looking at photos of cats, as, we all do on the internet. Let's all admit that. We all look at pictures of cats. That's what the internet is for. And I found one that the cat was halfway through the door, the paper sliding door, and the cat's head had made a hole. So I screen capped it, and I sent it to her. And I told her that I had thought of her, and I remembered her story. So that story made me laugh so hard. And yeah. yeah, that just made me laugh. Any other questions about living in Japan or visiting Korea or even living in where else? Oh yeah, Paris. But I don't know if you guys all saw my opening screen, but I'm riding a bicycle. I'm riding a bicycle on my opening screen, and that's because, well, there's like, firstly, bicycles are awesome. And I ride a bicycle almost every day to work. So I really love bicycles. And also when I was in Japan, I had a bicycle. It was like a really big kind. They're called mama chari, because you can use them to put your kids or whatever on them, on the back seat or in the front seat. And oh yeah, they're e-bikes. They're also electric bikes. So, because that would be super hard to bicycle with 2 kids. But yeah, so I always felt a bit silly, and even some of my friends were like, why do you have a mama chari? But I don't care, that bike was awesome. It was awesome. Whoa, Japan and Paris, huh? That's a lot of people's dream vacations. Oh yeah, for sure. Those are like dream cities. But there's a lot of places I haven't been that I would like to go. How about you? Where do you guys want to go when the world goes back to normal? For Paris, I have so many stories about Paris too. Like, of course, these are like generalizations. Oh, exactly. Must be easy traveling internationally as a witch, for sure. I know that there's a broom on the wall behind me, but I much prefer to travel by Dyson cordless vacuum these days. That's my favorite mode of transportation. My other mode of transportation is hot air balloon. It's the easiest way to get from Oz to here. But like in Paris, I always used to laugh because I know that the generalization is that they think they're the best, and they think French is the best, and they hate Americans. Like, these are all generalizations. But I would laugh really hard because I could like I don't judge, right? So I would just listen and be like, uh-huh. And then I would go to their bathroom, for example, and I'd be washing my hands, and then I would look at the shower curtain, and I'd be like, hey, wait a second. If they don't like America, why is their bathroom New York City themed? Why is this shower curtain a picture of New York City? So that always made me giggle. I'd like to visit Mount Fuji, Vancouver, Germany, and maybe hike through the Appalachian. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know that word. Appalachian Trail. Something like that. Okay, those are a lot of cool places. Mount Fuji is awesome. Fuji-sama. But you have to plan it well. I had a few friends of mine who went up the mountain and then they couldn't see anything because it was foggy. So try to plan ahead for that one. They were very upset. And they couldn't, they were leaving Japan after that, so it's not like they could redo it. And it's a big hike. Where in Germany? Where in Germany would you like to visit? Germany is also on my list. I'd like to go to Berlin. I think Berlin the most. That's the one that's always been recommended to me. And Vancouver. Vancouver, Washington, or Vancouver, Canada? Is it in Washington? Yeah, Vancouver, Washington. I think it is. Near Seattle. Yeah, there's so many awesome places. I want to go to Korea again. But I want to go to Jeju Island this time. Canada. I have a few friends there. Oh, well, then you should totally visit. Definitely. Tom, I'd like to visit the village that Higurashi was based on for weeb reasons. Oh, yes. I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. There was a comic book. What comic was I reading? It was like a jellyfish, Princess Jellyfish. I think that's the translated title. And it's like a silly comic, but one of the characters, he falls in love with this girl who's super, super, super shy. And then He's not a main character. She is. And anyways, he works for the Parliament building or something. And it just really made me laugh. So I went to go visit the Parliament buildings. Just for that. And then people were like, okay, you're like the only foreigner on this tour. Why on earth do you want to see the Japanese government buildings? And I was like, oh, no reason. You should totally do that. Definitely. If any reason is a good reason, right? And you'll remember it better if it's for weeb reasons. That's what I think. Yep. Just do it. Yeah, I've been to Vancouver before. It's nice there. Rains a lot though. And they can give you a hard time at the border sometimes, but go anyways. I remember I visited with 3 of my friends who are pharmacists, and they gave me a really hard time. They're like, how do all 3 or 4 of you know each other? And I'm like, we're friends from school. But I guess that's their job. Their job is they have to screen people, right? And yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was laughing too the other day because I mentioned this before, but on my first stream, like I didn't understand when I would watch other VTuber streamers, and then people would tell them to hydrate, and then after my first stream, I'm like, oh, I get it now. I totally get it. Yes, it's important to keep drinking water while streaming for sure. Your voice will get rough and all that. Have any of you seen any movies lately? I watched Dune. I won't say any spoilers, but I enjoyed it. I haven't seen the previous Dune though, so I should probably watch that one. And I need to read the book. I do have the book, but I can't wait however many years it's gonna take for the sequel to be filmed. So I'm gonna definitely read the book because I need to know what happens. I just saw Dune and Eternals a few days ago. Oh, awesome. Without any spoilers, what would you recommend Eternals? I know it's getting mixed reviews. I was planning to see it maybe in a week or two for the Eternals. I mean, it's got so many famous stars in Marvel, right? I think I've seen all the Marvel movies except for the Spider-Man. The second Spider-Man, I haven't seen that one. And I know that they're coming out with the third Spider-Man very soon. Haven't seen the new Dune, but I rewatched Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Markiplier. I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you so much. Wow, for the $25. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's the first time somebody has ever done that. Thank you, thank you. The Nightmare Before Christmas is totally a classic. I have that one on DVD, but I should probably like look into getting the Blu-ray because obviously the DVD isn't the highest definition anymore. It's like half superhero movie, half art movie. If you like Dune, you'll like Eternals. Okay, I'm definitely going to watch the Eternals then. Oh, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Eshkatan. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. But thank you. Welcome. Big ups. Yeah, so I love those kind of movies. What are some of you guys' favorite movies? My favorite movie is Pan's Labyrinth. It's a bit dark, but I really like that one. There are some parts in it where I did have to close my eyes. I bought that one on I think there was like a special DVD that comes with a book or something. I think I have that one. And it's in Spanish though. And so you have to watch it with subtitles. I don't actually, you know what? I'm talking to a bunch of weebs, right? Like myself. So we don't mind reading subtitles, am I right? Pan was done so well, but the ending was so bitter. Yeah. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and then you can make up your own mind about the ending. Yeah, I should rewatch that. I should have watched that for Halloween. Oh well. On Halloween, I watched Hocus Pocus, and I decorated a Christmas. What are those called? Christmas gingerbread house. But I made black icing instead, and I decorated it for Halloween. Blade Runner 2049 is the best one I've watched this year. I'm Thinking of Ending Things was my favorite that came out last year. Okay, I haven't seen either of those. Blade Runner has been on my list for a very long time, and I just was reading about that where they were trying to make a sequel. I think, I don't know, but I definitely want to watch that because the pictures I saw of the giant woman, that looked awesome. That looked really awesome. Oh yeah, I remember. Adam was a big fan of I'm Thinking of Ending Things. 10 out of 10 cinematography. Oh, okay. So I definitely need to watch that one too. I'll watch the commercial first. Oh, it's the same director as Dune. Oh, okay. I think it's his best work personally. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, for Blade Runner 2049. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know it's the same director. I guess that's how he landed that job then, right? Because if he did a good job with 2049, they're gonna give him a nice big budget for Dune. But speaking of Dune, I didn't watch the original one, but I did see that the sequel got greenlit. Super excited about that, right? But yeah, like I said earlier, it's gonna take a long time because they still have to get everything together, and I think that the main people in it, they have other things to film probably. So who knows what the schedule is gonna be like. I will 100% be in the theater to see that though, for the sequel. I even have one of my coworkers said that Dune is their favorite book of all time, and that's actually why I saw the movie, because I said if it's their favorite book of all time, then it must be pretty good. Just having a sip of tea there. Yeah, there's just so many things. Even for anime, I watched oh, what was that one? That one, Demon Slayer. I just watched the movie for Demon Slayer. Maybe there's more than one movie for that. But I saw the one that was in the theater. Whichever one that is. That one had a crazy ending as well. I think, did I finish that anime? Yeah, I did. I think I'm just waiting for season 2. Have you guys seen that anime, or what animes are you guys watching these days? I still have to watch the aquarium one that I mentioned earlier. I think I have, let me just search the title. I think I have it here somewhere. I don't remember. No, I don't remember. But yeah. Have any of you guys been to anywhere else? Like anywhere in Japan, like Osaka or Kyoto? I liked Osaka. I remember laughing because my boss in Tokyo was like, just be aware when you go to Osaka, the people there are going to be dressed strange. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And then they said, leopard jackets and curly short hair for older ladies. And I said, that doesn't bother me, that's fine. I don't know why he mentioned it. He's just like, they're gonna be dressed weird. Made me laugh. Have you been to Hokkaido? It sounds very unique even for Japan. Oh, hi, welcome. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Chaos? I think it looks like Chaos, right? You were at my first stream. Welcome back. Dotonbori in Osaka was awesome. Yes. Of course, everybody has to go there. But yeah, no, I haven't been to Hokkaido. It's definitely on my list. I did have a coworker who went to Hokkaido, and this is a funny story. She mailed me. She went to Hokkaido, and she's just my coworker, so I didn't really know her super well. And she was a lot older than me, and she went to there, and then she mailed me a bunch of, I think they're the king crabs or whatever famous crab. She mailed them to my house in Tokyo. And then, so the postman, the mailman was at the door. And he's ringing my bell. And Chaos, sorry. It looked like Chaos. Okay, I'll remember. Welcome back. So yeah, so the postman is ringing the bell. And then I'm telling him on the intercom, like, Hi, I'm not expecting any packages, so maybe you have the wrong door. And it's hard to explain the house that I lived in, but basically there were a bunch of houses on my street, and we all had the same, like, similar numbers. So sometimes I would get mail for the wrong family, so my neighbors, especially because my neighbor next door was also a foreigner. And so I was like, yeah, I don't think that package is for me, sorry. And then he's like, Yola, right? No, this is for you, this is for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then it turned out to be the crabs from her. And then I texted her to thank her, and I was like, how do I eat these? They were delicious. Devil is a part-timer is finally getting season 2. That one's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I don't know that one. Devil is a part-timer? I don't know that one. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the pictures right now. Devil is a part-timer. Yeah, it's crazy that... Oh, yeah, no, I don't know this one. It's crazy that so many anime get season 2 now. I love that. I remember when you only got like your 25 episodes and that was it. Well, except unless you're Dragon Ball or something. Wow, okay. This looks neat. So they're getting a season 2. Yeah. Yeah. But going back to talk about my bicycle, I don't know if you're supposed to, actually you're probably not. You're probably not supposed to ride your bicycle and listen to music, right? But, since I bicycle to work, and I do put an Apple, like an AirPod in one of my ears, so it is wireless. And just in one ear so I can hear traffic with the other and other bicycles in the other. And then, so the other day, the AirPod, for the first time, fell out of my ear. And it was dark out. And then I went back to find it. And then it had gotten run over by a car. So my AirPod is totally trashed. I'm gonna call my insurance and see if they'll cover it. But I guess I deserve that because you're probably not supposed to listen to music while you bicycle. Yeah, even a lot of light novel adaptations are getting them. That used to be unusual, right? I'd bike to the train station too, and it was only after a couple of months I was told it wasn't allowed to listen. Yeah, exactly, you're not allowed. So, that's what I get. Yep, rest in peace, AirPod. And I forgot a part. It's actually the second time this has happened. So the first time, what happened? Oh no, the first time was more serious. I fell off my bike. So I fell off my bike. I was fine. My bicycle was fine. But the AirPod was in the middle of the street and a car ran over it. And it was like really early in the morning. And I was really surprised because there was a man and a woman, just like, I guess they were walking to work or whatever they were doing. And then they both asked me, they're like, are you okay? And so I was just reminded of the wonderfulness of humanity sometimes. And then I told them I was fine. But yeah, rest in peace, AirPod, for the second time. And it's the same AirPod. Like, I got it replaced by Apple. And my insurance covered it. But I don't think they'll cover it a second time, especially when it's the same ear. So, oh well. Yeah. So you would bike to the train station and then you would lock it up at the bike station? Or would you take the bicycle on the train with you? I know that they have some rules for that. Like, sometimes you can't take your bicycle on the train if it's during the rush hour times when people go to school or to work. Yeah, I started bicycling in July of 2020. So I haven't been bicycling that long, but I'm really impressed. And if I tell like family members or whatever, they don't believe me. They're like, you bicycle in your little dresses and everything. But you can. I learned that in France, actually. They were the ones who taught me that you don't have to wear sportswear to bicycle. You can wear nice clothes and you can still bicycle everywhere. That was pretty common when I was there. I'd just lock it up at the train station. I didn't need it after that. Okay, so where you live, it's okay. It's safe. There's some cities like I don't think you can do that in New York. It'd probably be gone. Yep, insurance. So yeah, my hopes are gonna be pretty low with the insurance. I'll try anyways, but I won't be surprised if they say no. I don't know. I feel like the AirPods are a little cursed, to be honest, because even the other ear, the other ear one, I put it in the laundry, and I did. It works fine though. I was gonna put it in a bowl of rice because that's what the internet says to do. But then I read another tip that said all of those packets that you have that say do not eat, put the AirPod in a bag with those do not eat packets for a couple days and it'll hopefully drain the water. And so I did that and then it works fine. It's still working now, unlike the other one. That is, I have it here actually. I should take a picture and put it on Twitter. It's not looking good, you guys. Got run over by a car. AirPods and yep. Local VTuber goes through 10 pairs of AirPods. Yeah, can I get an F? Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe it. You should have seen my face. Because I was like, oh, well, maybe I was hoping, like, oh, maybe, like, somebody saw it and then picked it up and took it and they'll use it and they'll enjoy it. Nope. There it was in the road, smashed to bits. Yep. Rest in peace. I'm looking at it now. Yeah. Does anybody work from home? I don't know if things are starting to go back to normal. I know that a lot of my friends are not able to work from home anymore. They have to start going back into work. And of course, there were some people who were never allowed to work from home from the beginning. So they've been working this entire time. Obviously, people in healthcare too. For myself, I've been doing the hybrid thing where you go into work half the time and you work from home half the time. But I'm sure that they would love to call everybody back in full time. Yeah. I don't mind. I would just get more exercise riding my bicycle. Nah, I'm one of those who had to go. Yeah, that's pretty common. Yeah, I think so. I work out of my car? Wow, that's cool. So I've been unaffected by everything. I hope your car is like super comfy. I hope you have one of those I don't know what they're called, but for your back. Or oh yeah, don't they have those like those car back massagers? I hope you have one of those. Yeah, for some people nothing really changed. For me, I moved closer to work so I could bicycle. I didn't want to take the train all the time. At that time. Yeah. Oh yeah, you know what happened to me the other day? I went to a Costco and the cashier, she looked similar to me and you wouldn't believe it. She sounded just like me. And we kind of looked at each other like a double take. Like, wow, I totally wanted to, I thought it'd be weird to be like, can we be friends? But I was very tempted to ask her. It was very cool. It was super cool. I never bump into people who have a voice like mine. So I really love that. And I hope if I go to Costco again, I hope that she's there. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. And, but speaking of work, yeah, totally, right? Secret twin. Like, not just the voice was the same, but we totally could have looked like sisters. Yep. I love that. I really love that. I hope she's there. Because then maybe the second time I can be like, oh, like maybe I can mention it. Because this time we just stared at each other, but we didn't say anything. Like, I should have said, hey, you sound like me or whatever, but I don't know. Oh yeah, but speaking of work, so I totally got bullied at work because one of my coworkers was trying to do is super into basketball, and then they needed one more person to join for their fantasy league or whatever for betting on the teams, and then they're like, please Yola, We need one more person. We need one more person. And I'm like, I don't know anything about basketball. It's Michael Jordan. I know him. But I got bullied, so I had to join, and I had to give my money over. But the joke's on them, because guess what? I'm in 4th place. I'm in 4th place. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in 4th place. I can't believe it. But I think that I read online that there's 19 weeks, so I don't think it's gonna last. I read that there's 19 weeks of basketball. How am I gonna bet? And it's like daily. I have to change my people on the team daily. So, but at least I can brag for now. I can be like, well, I'm 4th place, so thank you for asking me to join. I believe. And I called my dad because I was like, you know more about basketball than I do, but he wasn't helpful at all. He was like, nah, I don't know. So I had to just figure it out myself. I tried to pick famous players, and then it's not a free for all, so you have to pick one at a time or something. So a lot of the famous people that I had on my list were gone, so I just had to wing it. I just had to pick random people, and that's why I have to laugh that I'm in 4th place when I don't even know what I'm doing. I wish gaming was like that. I wish I could do that in games. Not know what I'm doing and be like a super expert. Yeah. So I'm still laughing about that. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'll tell you what place I end up in. But like I said, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Yes, yes. But that said, I was in second last place last week. I was in second last place. But you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I believe too. I'm hoping. What if I'm in last place? Maybe you'll never ever hear about this again. Maybe I'll never mention this topic again. Would be legendary if you keep placing high despite not doing much, right? I think I was looking at them yesterday. Was it yesterday? And I could see like I don't want to say envy, but I feel like a part of them died because they knew that I didn't know what I'm doing. It's great though. They're super nice. So, but yeah, they should. It's not good to yeah. Oh, totally. I should totally say that. Come on, guys. It's not even that hard. Yeah, yeah. And I am. I should totally say that. I should totally say that. Tomorrow's Friday, so I feel like a lot of people are taking the day off. But if they're there, I'll definitely put in a crack like that, because the results change every Sunday, I think. So I only have until Sunday to brag, because who knows what place I'll be in. But yeah, oh my gosh. But here's hoping. That'd be hilarious. Yeah. Did anybody buy the new Nintendo Switch? I know it's out now. I'm not getting it, but I was super tempted because it says that the screen is better. But I guess I play a lot. I play docked. I play plugged in a lot. Not so much handheld. But it looks super gorgeous, and I love that I heard that it's not really white, it's like a cream color. Yeah, the OLED one. Yeah. If I didn't have one, I'd buy it. No reason for me to buy it personally. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm actually the instigator sometimes. I'll be like asking people at work who has a Nintendo Switch. I usually just play docked, so I didn't get one. Yeah, exactly. In that case, might not be worth it. I might get one after I mod my current one, so that I still have a normal one. Is that mean that your one is one of the first editions? I thought that you can only mod the first editions of the Nintendo Switch. Maybe that's not true, but that's what I remember hearing about, that you can only mod the first gen. Mine is the I had a normal one, the one that comes with the blue controller and the red controller, but then when the Animal Crossing one came out, I sold it, and I got the Animal Crossing one. Oh, okay, yeah, so you do have the first gen. Yeah, if you got one within half a year or so, you can mod it. Mine's one of those. Also, I wonder if the one that I sold... Dang. Think I could buy it back? No, the person I sold it to, they said that their kids play it all the time. Yeah. But I do want to get the white duck. I read that Nintendo will start selling it separately eventually. Because then it would be nice. Because when I stream, I plug in my Nintendo Switch on my computer desk. But then I have to keep moving it from my TV. And I had to buy an extra wire because wire management is very important, right? You gotta keep things beautiful. So all my TV wires are hidden. And I didn't want to have to go through all the trouble of taking out the charger wire and making it beautiful on my computer desk over and over. So I got another one. Yeah, so that would be even better to get the 2 docks. 2 docks, leave it plugged in all the time. Yeah. Yep. And so what else is new? What else, you guys? Yeah, I don't know what time it is for you guys. But here, I guess it's like dinner time maybe. But I already ate. It's a nightmare behind my TV. But at least you can't see it. Oh, okay. Unless you look. Cable management sucks. Oh yeah. 100%. Absolutely. I completely agree. With the whole working from home thing, I'm on my second desk. I didn't have a desk before that. I used to just plug my computer into my TV. Wow, 2:30 in the morning. You're crazy. Wow, look at you. Wow, Europe though. That's cool. You can go to Spain for the weekend. Nice. Yeah, cable management is such a pain. I bought zip ties to use, and then I bought... I don't know what those things are called, but things to hide them too. But the ones from my TV are perfect behind, but the computer one is a little bit more messy. But if you spend the time, it's worth it. It's worth it to have it to be beautiful. It's worth it. Yeah. Did you guys do anything for Halloween? Like I said earlier, I didn't do much this year. I just did the gingerbread house and I watched Hocus Pocus. But I did have Halloweens in Japan, and let me tell you, they're crazy over there on Halloween. It seems like cables naturally end up becoming a mess over time, even if you put the effort into it. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I played Yume Nikki, and that's all I did for Halloween. I don't know that one. Let me look that up too. Yume. Oh, an indie game on Steam. Let's see the pictures. Oops, I clicked the wrong... Whoa, what is that? Okay. Oh, it's like a scary game. Yeah, I don't know if I can play scary games. Oh my gosh, what is that? Looks like the ghost. There's a ghost or something in that game. Creepy. That's a very perfect game to play on Halloween. I watched Over the Garden Wall with a small group of friends. Let me look up that too. Over the Garden Wall. Oh, that looks cute. That looks really cute. And it's an American... Oh, it's a mini-series. Could you watch it on, like, Discord or something? Is that what you guys did? Or it was in person? That's so cool. I love that. Oh, I think I've seen pictures of this before. Some of these pictures look familiar. Yeah, I totally will watch this. It's good. About 2 hours long, 10-episode miniseries. Huh, okay. I'm gonna add this to my list. For this Yume game, I will see if there's a trailer and I will watch it. Maybe I can play that on Halloween next year. But yeah, I get scared. I get scared in I don't really watch those. Like Pan's Labyrinth was the scariest movie I've ever seen. Okay, on Discord. Yeah, Discord's great. Discord's great for that. I love doing that. Eventually when I make a Discord, When I have 50 followers, I'll totally do stuff like that. I don't know what we'll watch, but I'd like to do stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, Halloween in Japan. Yeah, I used to go. I spent some of them in Shibuya, but Shibuya got too crazy. So I stopped going there for Halloween, and then I went to Roppongi. Roppongi was okay. But even that, it gets pretty intense. And then the one thing that I found interesting was I find in Western countries for Halloween, most people are wearing individual costumes, but Japanese people on the other hand do a lot of group costumes. So you won't just see like Sailor Moon walking around. You'll see like 5 Sailor Moons, or you'll see the whole crew together. It's always group costumes. So you'll also see really inappropriate costumes too. Like really inappropriate costumes that would never, if you tried to go somewhere in the West, they would say immediately, no, you can't come into the bar wearing that. I sadly missed Halloween when I was in Japan. Yeah, well, you missed a crazy time. I don't know. Yeah, I would not specifically visit Japan for Halloween. I think it's too crazy. I remember seeing some crazy Australians. They were dressed as Mario and Pikachu, and I remember they had cake. Like, these are strangers, right? They're far away. They're walking down the street far away from us. And the only reason I remember them is because they were carrying cake. And I'm assuming that they're really drunk. So they dropped that cake, or pieces of cake. And then me and my friends, we just happened to look up and see them eat the cake off of the floor. Outside I think that was in Shibuya or Shinjuku. So I never forgot. That's like seared into my brain. I'm like, why did they do that? Why did they eat the cake off of the city floor? They were probably drunk, so they didn't care. Yeah, exactly. Fancy floor cake. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, the things that you see. But I have to say the costumes seem pretty fun, right? Mario and Pikachu and whatever. I don't remember. Luigi, I guess. Yeah. Did you ever see the people who ride... Oh, I don't know what those are called. Like, they look like bumper cars, but you used to be able to drive them in the city of Tokyo. The customers were always foreigners. And then you would see them wearing... it's just like Mario Kart. Like Mario Kart. Yeah. You saw them. Yeah, so I saw them a few times, and sometimes I would just be like, you know, living my life or whatever, and those people were always crazy. They would wave at you or honk the cars or whatever. I think that company closed now. I don't think they do that anymore. They were crazy. But it did look, I have to admit, it looked like a ton of fun. And I did have a friend who asked me, they're like, I'm going to Tokyo, should I do that? And I'm like, I mean, if you want to. But only, I'm telling you now, only crazy foreigners do that. And then when they got back, they're like, yeah, me and my fiance did that. I'm like, alright, well, good for you. I hope you had fun. Oh, they got DMCA'd by Nintendo. Yeah, I guess that was a matter of time, huh? Because they were probably making drivers mad in Tokyo because they were driving crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I had a car in Tokyo, but I don't have a driver's license. So I had to tell my company, thanks for the car, but I can't drive. So it just sat in the garage the whole year. I don't know why they did that. But they gave me the bicycle though, which I use all the time. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, what else? Yeah, I know, it was silly. Cars are really expensive. They should have gave it to one of the other workers. Yeah, they let me keep it. They even gave me the keys. And they told me that there was a card inside for the highways or something. Like the tolls, I guess. So there's a card that you just press for the tolls. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but I can't drive. Like, I can't even drive in my home country. Let alone in Japan where you guys drive on the other side of the road. I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, it was nice of them. It was a minivan too. So it was really spacious. I never told any of my friends because what if they wanted to drive it? I just didn't want to I didn't want to be put in a bad situation, especially regarding insurance or anything. So I never mentioned it. We took the train wherever we went. Yeah. But like I said, my boss was super nice, and I made friends with his mom, right? So sometimes they would take me places. I have a license, but I'd be too spooked due to them driving on the other side. Yeah. I visited England once, and it was the same thing. I almost got hit by a car because I forgot that they drive on the other side of the road. I was in London, and yeah, I can't even imagine driving temporarily on the other side. Very outgoing boss. Yeah, super nice. Super nice. You know what? That reminds me of a funny comment that they got. So my boss and his wife used to live in England. They lived in England for 4 years, and so that's why they were like when they went back to Japan. And then my boss was like, well, he told the company, he's like, well, I want to work with foreigners. I want to work with foreigners and keep practicing my English. And so I was very lucky that that's how I got the job. So just because they wanted somebody who could speak English as one of their languages. Yeah, I love that. And so yeah, he was awesome, and his wife was awesome. His mom was awesome. They were all lovely. I try to keep in touch with them. But it's hard. It's been hard the past 2 years. Yeah, with everything. I can't go visit them, right? It's better to go visit them. Yeah. They took me one time to an onsen, and the onsen was so old. Like, not old, I shouldn't say that. Like, traditional. And I remember them commenting that it only took like 6 customers, or six families, I guess you could say, at a time. And then when you get to the outside of the onsen, it had everybody's family name on a wooden plank outside of the building. They said that was like super old way, and most hot springs don't do that. So they thought that was neat. So I thought that was neat because they thought that was neat. Yeah. What's your favorite season in Japan? For me, it's definitely the cherry blossoms. Yeah, some have old traditions. Yeah, that's the perfect phrasing. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. That's one thing that I love about. That's why I wanted to live in Japan and Paris, because these France has such a rich history as well, and I love to live in places with rich history. So many things to do and see. Yeah. Yeah. Even that's another reason why I really wanted to go to Germany. Germany's like that too. I know that I keep hearing the story that there are pubs in Germany that are over 400 years old, and when you walk in, the entrance is very, like, the flooring is very used. I don't know how to describe that. The flooring has dents in it from hundreds of people over the years. Spring and fall are your favorite seasons in Japan. Mostly spring due to all the holidays. Oh yeah. Yeah, but sometimes it can't be. Sometimes it's not good. Like Golden Week. Golden Week it's everybody's on vacation at the same time. Sometimes it can be a good thing. But if you're like me and you want to go to Disneyland or something, forget it. It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be packed. Yeah. Did you go to Tokyo Disneyland? I highly recommend it if you haven't. Yeah, they have beer if you go to what's the other one called? Oh, Tokyo Disney Sea. Tokyo Disney Sea has beer. I miss Tokyo Disneyland. I went to Fuji Q. I didn't go to Fuji Q. How was it? When they told me that the roller coasters were some of the fastest roller coasters in the world, I said, heck no. I'm good. I don't need to go there. I don't need to go there. See, so you went to some good things. You went to Fuji Q. Glimmy Cat, I gotta visit Tokyo Disneyland. Oh yeah. Oh, you have to go. You have to go. I went there so many times. You have to go. I was really surprised that they had I like to collect magnets. I like to collect magnets of all the places I go. So my fridge is my fridge is probably heavier because of all the magnets. And so I used to go to Tokyo Disneyland, and one of my guilty pleasures was to get magnets because they change them all the time. So Easter has a different magnet, Christmas, Halloween, they all have magnets. So that's my excuse for going so many times. The fast roller coasters are great, and they have many of them. They close way too early though, around 5 p.m. Oh no, wait, that is early. That is early. They would make a lot more money if they were open till at least till 9, like the circus. But we had a lot of fun. There weren't a lot of people there when we went because it was a weekday. Oh, smart. Smart, smart. So we got on everything. How about the snacks? How about the snacks? Roller coasters, I think you're crazy. I also wonder, did they have the roller coasters that take your picture? Yeah, Tokyo, I've been to all of the Disneys, except for 2 of the ones in Asia. For Asia, I've only been to the Tokyo one, but I've been to Disney World and Disneyland Paris and Disneyland in California. And they're all slightly different. Gotta say, the snacks weren't anything special. You could get better snacks at street stalls. Yeah, I guess they don't have to cater to that because they're gonna get customers either way. That's fair. I think that there's a lot of things like that. But yeah, wow, Fuji Q, no way. No way. I think it's on a lot of people's list though, to go there. It was incredible seeing Fuji up close while on the roller coasters though. It was enormous. Yeah, yes. You can see it from so many different places. I remember I went to, I want to say it was a fish market, but it wasn't. I don't remember where I was. But I went to some sort of market far from Tokyo. It was a different city. And I couldn't, I said, we were just parking the car. I was with my boss and his family. We were parking the car, and I said, is that Mount Fuji? And they're like, yeah. I couldn't believe it. Just from, the view was like $1 million view from a parking lot. Yeah. Yeah. I think that they know how lucky they are, though. That's why they call it Fuji-sama, right? Respectful. It is. It's huge. It's huge. It's enormous. And I love the little souvenirs that, like, you can buy a can of air. You can buy a can of Mount Fuji air. Yeah. And I think it's expensive. I think it's expensive for that can of Mount Fuji air. People will buy anything. Honestly. To be honest though, if I lived there, I would totally do that. I would totally sell Mount Fuji air. It's a great idea. Great business. And people bought it because if people didn't buy it, I never would have saw it. That's how I saw it. My friend showed me. Mount Fuji air. Yeah. So I think it was my friend that I mentioned way earlier. I said you have to plan it well because when they got to the top, it was foggy and they couldn't see anything. But at least they could buy this, 3,000 yen of air. I don't remember how much it cost. I just remember saying, why did you buy this? Because that's an outrageous price. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can experience so many different things. Like I remember, none of my friends wanted to go with me. I said, does anybody want to go to see like a sumo match? I don't know anything about sumo, but I mean it's super famous. So, but nobody wanted to go. So I went to an event, and it was like the start of the I don't know how to explain that, but maybe the beginning of their competition. So it was a blessing ceremony, and so I got to see the people there wearing the traditional things that they have to wear when they're doing the blessing ceremony and everything. And they had Yokozuna was there. So like the number one sumo wrestler at the time, he was there. And I remember it's really stayed with me how people really revered him. Like a super, super tiny, frail old man had the opportunity to get close to him. And then the Yokozuna put his hand on the old man's shoulder. And the old man was really emotional. Like, he got very emotional. And then right after that, I saw a Japanese woman. And she asked the Yokozuna to touch her baby's head. So he just patted the baby on the head. So I guess that was like he was giving the baby strength or something. Like, so she also got very emotional. So you can see so many cool things. And I told my friends, I'm like, you guys should have came. It was amazing. I got to get super up close and sit in the front row and all that. So if you have the opportunity, I think it was free too, or it might have been 1,000 yen. It was totally worth it. There's so many things like that. And another random thing that I did was I went to a strawberry farm. You can do that. You don't have to do that in Japan though. You can do that anywhere. The more hidden things like that are some of the best things you can see there. Oh yeah, totally. I'll come back to the strawberry farm after, but continuing with the sumo wrestlers, there was a restaurant. I think it was called sumo wrestlers eat chanko. I want to say it's called chanko. It's like a soup. I'm just googling it now. Yeah, chanko nabe. And they have to eat that 3 times a day. A full hot pot stew. That's what they told me. They have to eat 3 pots a day, and it's like full. It's huge. I wouldn't even be able to eat one quarter of that. So I ordered it naturally, and I ate as much as I could, and it was delicious. So I would also recommend trying that. You can pretend you're a sumo wrestler and try to eat chanko nabe. And the restaurant was from what I remember, there were, like, I don't know a lot about sumo wrestling. That was my only time that I saw. But they have different houses. I guess you study under a famous, I don't know. Anyways, the sumo wrestlers are divided into different houses, I guess, and they all compete with each other, right? And so that's where the restaurant was located, because I guess they have to be close to the sumo wrestlers so they can feed them. And there was something else. Oh yeah, so when I left the restaurant, I saw some sumo wrestlers, and they were riding bicycles. And then my friend was like, well, actually not my friend, this person who was there said that they felt bad for the bicycles. And I said, don't say that. What if they hear you? Don't say that. Yeah, but they said that they were some really strong bicycles. But I can't even imagine having to eat 3 huge pots of stew, like 3 times a day. That's way too much. But good for them. That takes some serious discipline. And when I did see some of their wives, and they were wearing kimono. So I don't know what the occasion was, but they looked really beautiful. I wonder what their daily calorie intake is, right? Must be an enormous number to maintain the weight that they have to maintain in order to compete. Yeah, I wish I knew more about it. I think if I had lived there for a few more years, I probably eventually would have looked more into it and tried to see more matches. I did put it when it was on TV. Sometimes if I caught it on cable, I would let it play, but I didn't really get into it too much. Looking back, I definitely would. I think it's so interesting. I remember I have a lot of nerdy hobbies. Well, I'm sure we all do, right? But another one that I had was Takarazuka. Takarazuka. How do I explain that? It's like a Broadway play, but everybody's women. So the men characters are played by women. Everybody's played by a woman. And I had to ask for help for getting tickets, because it's really hard to get tickets to those shows. And like for Tokyo, it was impossible. It was impossible for me to get tickets. So I had to get help to get tickets to a show in Osaka. And the person I asked was like, "Oh my god. How on earth did you hear about Takarazuka?" Cuz she was like, "No. Please, no. This is like one of the things Japanese people try to hide." And then I was like, "Ha ha 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 ha. You have no idea. This is just the tip of the iceberg of my nerdy hobbies. Ha 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 ha." So, yeah, exactly. But it was really hard to get tickets, but she helped me. Yeah, it's always sold out. It's always sold out. Even when I got to go to the one in Osaka, I got the nosebleed seats. And you won't believe this. At the entrance, you can rent binoculars. You can rent binoculars because that is how nosebleed the seats are. And it was awesome. It was A++. I recommend it. I loved it. And there is the opposite too, right there. I forget what it's called. I don't think it's called No Theater, but in Japan there's the alternative. There are plays, super famous plays, where everybody is a man. So if there's a female part, it's played by a man. So it just makes sense that they have Takarazuka doing the opposite, where everybody's a woman. So yeah, that was super cool. If you have the chance, you should definitely check either out. Whether it's the all men's Broadway show or the all women's one. It was really cool. But I will say that the men's one caters more to foreigners. Like you can get a headset and they will translate the play into English for you. On cassette, I think, or I forget how it was. Have you ever seen a rakugo show? No, I haven't. I haven't seen. Yeah, you want to go to one sometime? No, I haven't. That's something I didn't do. Rakugo. Yeah, no. Nope. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. I don't have very many regrets. I feel like I got to do almost everything I wanted, but that's something that I didn't do. I need to step up my Japanese way more before then, though. It's like there's some things too that are just out of my price range. Like I would love to go to Kyoto and have geisha, right? Who doesn't want to try that? Who doesn't want to do that? But I can only imagine the prices. It's cheaper for me to just go to a photography studio and then pay them to rent me a kimono and take pictures than it is to hire a super talented person who's been training for years and years and years and wears kimono daily. I would love to see that. One day. Yeah, there's so many experiences like that. Yeah. And then yeah, I talked about so let's talk about the strawberry farms. I was talking about that earlier. So yeah, you can do that in your any country, right? Apple farming. But in Tokyo, I went strawberry picking twice. Well, not in Tokyo. I think one was in Shizuoka, and I forget where the other one was. But I really laughed because the town specialty was strawberries. So they had, if you go to the store, they sold strawberry curry. And I looked at the box and I was like, that's disgusting. That sounds terrible. Strawberry curry? Why? And then I bought it. It just tasted like curry. I didn't taste any strawberries, but I don't know. It was sketchy. It was a risky purchase. Strawberry curry. For sure. It's like when you want to try Kobe beef, but the price is through the roof. One day, though. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there are people who will be like, I'm from there, so I can tell you where to get the real thing. And then you're like, okay, but what's the price range, right? You're like, maybe next time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? One of the ways that I made a lot of friends was through hanabi fireworks. The fireworks in Japan. I always made friends on at those kind of festivals. So I recommend if you're in Japan, you should wear the yukata, and if you're a man, then you should wear the men's yukata, and people will talk to you because you're a foreigner, and they're like, wow, you're wearing yukata. That's so cool. I made a lot of friends like that, and you get to enjoy fireworks at the same time. Yeah. So those are some of my favorite memories. I really love wearing. I have to say, wearing kimono is a totally different experience than wearing yukata. I think I lasted in the kimono for like an hour, and then I was like, it's heavy, it's tight around my waist, and it's hard to move. It's beautiful though, and they made me dance in it. They made me like you know when you have a fan. So they gave me a fan, and they told me to copy the specialist. There was a specialist lady, and I tried to copy her, and then it was so funny because my friend took a video of me, and I was like, no, don't take a video of me. I suck. I don't know what I'm doing, and then so I said, just take pictures. Pictures are good. And now when I look back at the video, I love it. I love it way more than the pictures. I actually should send a message to my friend saying thank you. Because I was like, don't take a video, please, no. And now I love it. Yeah, so wearing kimono is very hard, and I really respect the people who can wear it for longer than an hour. And I can't even imagine wearing the heavier ones, or like the ones from the history where they were so many layers. Much respect. The yukata, on the other hand, is a lot easier to wear. I got to wear a male yukata when I went to a tea ceremony. Awesome. I was nervous as heck because I didn't want to accidentally stain it, as I was told it was expensive. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. That would make me nervous too. Yeah, especially if it's a tea ceremony. So you're gonna be surrounded. You have to hold the tea. But what did you think of wearing it? Was it comfortable? I always was disappointed if I saw foreigners who didn't try it. I'm like, you've been in Japan for 3 years, but you've never worn yukata? You need to do that. It's like so much fun going to the festivals, and you can get shaved ice, or you can get fish on a stick. You can get all kinds of things, and the pictures are just so much better if you're wearing yukata. What did you think of the tea ceremony? My friend wore one with gold embroidery. Wow. And she was dying inside from the nervousness. The yukata was... Oh, thanks for the follow. Thank you for the follow. It was surprisingly comfy. The male variant seems very airy. Yeah, I was kind of jealous of the male one because I don't know what the yukata is. I know for kimono it's called the obi. Maybe it's called the same thing. But the obi around the waist is much lower on the men's. So I was jealous of that for the women's one. But I bought a lot of yukata, you guys. They just come in so many different colors. I need them all. So, yeah, I wore them as much as I could. Anytime I could. And I already knew how to wear yukata before I got there. Before I moved to Japan. So I would actually help my friends put theirs on. The tea ceremony was really nice. We were invited by an old couple, so it was very authentic. they were enthusiastic to show us their culture, so they showed us some matcha alongside some mochi. Oh, how nice! See, that is so nice. Like, I love that. I love that. There's a word I'm trying to think of that starts with G, but I guess gracious? Well, like, that's so, I mean, that's so awesome. I love that. What, generosity, too. Generosity. So the matcha was, like, the bitter one, right? I had a lady who slapped me on the hand because I ordered green tea and then I asked for sugar. And she slapped my hand and she's like, no sugar. I still drink it with sugar. It's a side of Japanese culture you won't see unless you socialize with the people. Yeah, that's dishonorable. Yeah, but I love sugar. I love sugar. So, I went to a tea ceremony as well. Actually, it's the same day. Okay, I didn't tell the whole story earlier. The whole story was Ba-chan, who I mentioned earlier, is the one who brought me to the specialist. And the specialist, her job was to dress people in kimono for acting, for theater. I don't remember what kind of theater, but that was like her job. She was an older woman. And her house was super beautiful and very traditional Japanese. And so we had the tea ceremony at her house, and I was super nervous too because I didn't want anything I said or did to reflect poorly on Bachan. So when she made the matcha, and of course I didn't ask for sugar. But I think Bachan knew me pretty well. So the side dish with the matcha was those wagashi that are super, super sweet. So, thank you, Bachan. I was able to drink the green tea with the delicious sweets. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't add sugar, but well, come on. When you order the green tea matcha latte at Starbucks, guess what? There's sugar in there. So I can't be all wrong, right? Sneak in the sweets. Yes. I ate sweets. That's actually okay. This is another story for you guys. So when you're living in Japan for a long time, people ask you all the time, why did you move to Japan, right? And I can't say the truth, right? I can't be like I really like I'm a weeb, right? I'm a nerd. I like all the stuff that you guys make. I can't say that. Because then, I don't know, I can't say that. So I would just say I'm here for the sweets. But it ended up being true because Japanese sweets are delicious. They are so good. I remember there was a festival in Jiyugaoka. I want to say it was called the Sweets Festival. Let me check. I don't remember what it was, but let me see. Jiyugaoka. Sweets. Yeah, okay. Sweets Festival? That doesn't sound right to me, but maybe. Yeah, I can't find it. But anyway, they have a sweets forest there, which is a building that has a bunch of restaurants that sell sweets. I used to go there all the time. I used to ride my bicycle there. And so anyway, they had a sweets festival, and I took the day off work so I could go. I was like, "Oh, I'm sick. I can't come in." They're very enthusiastic about their sweets. Even their cakes are god tier. I want cake now. Yes, only sweets. Sweets are the cure. Yes, and chocolate. Yes, chocolate. I'll take that anytime. So, I did the same thing, but it actually was true. When I was living in Paris, that was 100% true. Oh, thanks for the follow, Nano Death. Welcome. I literally did move to Paris because of the food. That's the only reason I went there, like the biggest reason I went there. And then that's when I'm like, hey, history is pretty cool. The buildings here are pretty cool. The architecture here is pretty cool. the thing that got me on the plane was the sweets. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. And that's also true for Korea. And in Korea, they said, like literally strangers would be like, "Are you here because of BTS?" And I'm like, "What is BTS? Behind the scenes? What is that?" And then I found out after it was like a boy band, a music group. And I'm like, I'm trying to explain to them, listen, Korean food is delicious, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to eat. I'm here to eat. Do you have any recommendations? Food is a pretty great reason to travel there. Absolutely. It was 1,000% better than I expected in Paris. It was incredible. And when I moved away from Paris, I was a little bit depressed because I wasn't gonna get that good food anymore. And it didn't matter where you went. Like if you buy frozen packaged food in Paris, in France, and then you heat it up, it's restaurant quality. And I knew when I got back home it wasn't gonna be like that, so I was totally depressed and everything tasted like garbage. But then I moved to Japan shortly after, so it all worked out in the end. Oh God, people go to Korea for the boy band? Yeah, exactly. Right? And I was shocked. I was like, no, I didn't come here for a boy band. But then after I had Googled it and I started seeing their pictures everywhere, like the boy band in BTS. And then when I was leaving Korea, there was even a huge billboard at the airport. So, yeah, I would understand it if it's like people coming from Japan and they want to go to a live concert in Korea because they're a big fan of the band. But I mean, come on, that's so far away. I wouldn't go to a whole country, anyways. You guys know what I mean. But the Korean food was A++. Highly recommend. And I found out that one of my favorite Korean foods is not really Korean. Like, it depends on who you talk to. It's called jjajangmyeon. So apparently it's like a Chinese / Korean dish. And it looks really intimidating because the sauce is black on noodles. So it looks very, very dark and like it'll stain your teeth or your tongue or whatever. But you guys, it's so delicious. It's so delicious. If you have somewhere that sells jjajangmyeon, try it. It's amazing. And then it's funny because on my first stream I was talking about the ramen that has the fire on it. Have you tried that? Oh, you've had jjajangmyeon? Yeah, it's so good. So good. It's pretty oily though, but I love it. I've ordered it at work a couple of times and then people will be like, "What is that? What are you eating?" It smells good, but I don't like the way that it looks. And I'm like, "Try a bite. You'll be converted. You'll be ordering it with me next time. You'll be asking me, when am I gonna order it again?" It's so good. But yeah, the fire ramen, I ended up buying some because I read online that if you mix it with the jjajangmyeon, it's perfect. Because I can't eat the spicy ramen on its own. My spice level isn't high enough. But mixed together, it's pretty good. It was, the portions were too big though. But you guys should try that. Try that too. Yeah. I love that. And then when I only went to Seoul once, but it was cherry blossom season at the time. And I couldn't believe how beautiful it was there. Yes, try this secret trick one day. Yes, if you're lucky, it'll increase your spice level. It didn't for me, but maybe. Actually, don't put all the powder in. I forgot that tip. If you put all the powder in, you'll die. It'll just be too spicy. Put half. Work your way up, I guess. But yeah, I recommend that one. I know Korea is getting really popular these days because of that Squid Game show. And also Crab Game. I caught a couple streams where they were playing Crab Game. I didn't know that existed. That made me laugh. Have you guys seen Crab Game? Yeah, it was different though. Their cherry blossom season felt different from Japan's. But the cherry trees were everywhere too. I took a lot of beautiful pictures at night, and they had a whole street. But I didn't like walking down that street because it was nothing but couples holding hands, and then there's me walking along the path, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta. Even though the scenery is so beautiful. But yeah, a lot of people are talking about Squid Game, and I watched it, and obviously I have a lot of feelings about episode 6, that features marbles. But one of the things I most took away, like a lot of people, is I want to try that snack. There's a snack that's featured in one of the early episodes, and it looks like a candy. I want to eat that. It's like a flat yellow candy, and I tried to buy it, but it's sold out everywhere. Yeah, the sugar cake thing. Yeah, that. So melted sugar, right? I think it's melted sugar. I looked everywhere. I looked everywhere to try and get it. I couldn't find it. Apparently you can make it. You can make it yourself, but I mean, I said this earlier. I tried to make kimchi pancakes and I totally failed. So I don't trust myself to make that sugar thing. I'd rather buy it. So I guess if Squid Game remains popular, it'll be for sale at the airport. And it'll be at the airport in Korea next time I'm there. Yeah, I just really want to eat that. I don't know what shape. Maybe I make a witch's hat. It's not the same as someone who's made it for years. Oh yeah, that's so true, right? Yeah, that's so true. How is my little knockoff one gonna taste this? It won't have that authenticity. Yeah, that's like I tried. Have you tried? I think it's a Chinese snack, the white dragon beard. Whenever I see that for sale, I buy it. It's so delicious. I think it's got peanuts in it, or I don't know what's in it, but it's delicious. Love that too. Yeah, basically, I think I was in Korea for like, I don't know, 7 days, and it was non-stop eating. It was non-stop eating. And they have so many cool cafes that I was surprised nobody talked about, or why didn't Japan have them too? There was a really awesome Harry Potter cafe. And it had I really felt like I was in the books. The drinks were cool, the cake was cool, they had a wall of wands. It really brings you to the Harry Potter world. And they also had, you won't believe this, they had a really cool Sherlock Holmes cafe. Sherlock Holmes. It was epic. I loved it. They had, I think it was obviously based on the book, but they had everything there. They had comic books of Sherlock Holmes. They had the novels of Sherlock Holmes in English. They had the TV show references by BBC. It was really, really neat. And there was a statue of Sherlock Holmes on the outside. And I laughed so hard. This is totally appropriate. I think I spent an hour trying to find it. I was using Google Maps and I was going in circles. And I was like, of course Sherlock. This happens to me with Sherlock Cafe. I can't find it. And the reason I couldn't find it is because it was downstairs. So there was you couldn't see it. I was looking for a storefront. I wasn't looking to go downstairs. It was quite hidden, which is totally appropriate. Asia loves their themed cafes. I love it when they're really enthusiastic about their themes. Yeah, same. I just get sad when they're limited editions. Like there was a Barbie cafe in in Japan, in Tokyo. Or actually, I think it was in Yokohama. And it's gone now. And it was really good. The Barbie Cafe. But the Sherlock Holmes Cafe in Seoul was really great. I hope it's still there. If it's still there, I'm gonna go there again. And they also had some random cafes, like the Poop Cafe. I didn't go to that one for obvious reasons. But apparently it's really popular, and the cups are in the shape of a toilet. So, yeah. Imagine drinking coffee out of that. Oh. Why do people do the things that they do? Whose business idea was that? What was the meeting like? Yes, hello, I have a great business idea. We're gonna put coffee in cups that look like toilets. No, I didn't go, but I'm sure if you look online, you can find Poop Cafe Korea. Yeah, right? Totally cursed. Imagine. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Years ago, I saw a video of a Kirby pop-up cafe that was adorable. Kirby pop-up cafe. Where was that? Do you remember where it was? Probably Japan, right? Kirby, I would love to go to that. Yeah, there's so many good ones. There was a Final Fantasy one, and I think it might still be around, like a Square Enix. And there was a One Piece cafe. That was in Shibuya, if I remember right. Sounds like the one near the Skytree. Kirby pop-up cafe. I wonder how I missed it. I used to go to Nana's cafe at Skytree because it had all the green tea. I love green tea. Green tea with sugar. Green tea ice cream has sugar. I love green things. Yeah. Yeah, and there was one restaurant in Korea and Seoul that I highly recommend called Halmoni's Recipe. Grandma's Recipe. Oh my gosh, 5 stars. If you're in Seoul, eat there. It was perfect. I'd often go to the Capcom Cafe because I love their stuff. I went during the launch of Devil May Cry 5 and had food themed after the game. Oh man, that sounds amazing. That's one thing I liked about Ikebukuro too. They were always having limited edition cafes. That's actually where I'm like 99% sure. Well, maybe it was in Akiba, but I feel like the Hololive cafe would be at Ikebukuro as well. Yeah. Oh, that would be so cool to go. Your timing was good to go for that around the time of that lunch. Yeah. Who doesn't love that? I know one person who really loves Kingdom Hearts, and I think that they happened to be in Tokyo when there was a theme cafe for Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Just gonna have a sip of tea here. Yeah, so when I was in Seoul, I made a point to also try. When I was in Japan, obviously kimono and yukata. Oh, welcome. Thanks for the follow, GT Onizuka. Welcome. You were there for the Kingdom Hearts stuff too? Oh, perfect. How perfect. I know they were selling really cool keychains. Because my friend showed me. My friend showed me the keychains that she bought. And I'm like, why didn't you text me? I would have got one too. But, oh yeah, so when I was in Korea, I did wear hanbok. So that's like their traditional clothes. And oh my gosh, you guys, I felt like a total Barbie. I was awesome. I loved it. I loved wearing the hanbok. And I went to the palace. The hanboks are cute as hell. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, they are. So I was wearing the hanbok, and I went to the palace, and I was really surprised because there was a family from India, and they had a little girl. And then she asked if she could take a photo with me, and I was like, but I'm not Korean though. Like we're surrounded by beautiful people wearing hanbok. But then I think it was because they figured I would speak English, and maybe they were intimidated by Korean language, so that's why they asked me. So I took a picture with her, and I thought that was so cute. But yeah, the hanbok is really lovely, and because I was gonna ask for a green one, Like when you go to the rental shop, they have a billion colors, and they have one for the men's one too. Lots of colors. Well, it was just me wearing the hanbok, so I wanted dark green. I felt like dark green would look good on me. And then the lady at the shop was like, "It's cherry blossom season. If you want green, you need to wear light green. Light green is gonna look really good with the pink cherry blossoms." And so I took her advice, and I wore that one, and the pictures are like $1,000,000. The pictures, I'm so happy with the pictures. They turned out so beautiful, and she was so right. The dark green wouldn't have been the same. But I have a funny story about that. There were a bunch of I would say middle school, so maybe 12 to 14-year-olds, and boys. Yeah, I think closer to maybe 13, 12, and they were wearing girls' hanbok. And it was so funny to see them running around the palace and being goofy and taking goofy pictures. And I was like, why are they wearing the girls' hanbok? And then apparently it was something that some people do as like a prank or when you graduate. So I guess they were going into high school. And so this was like them goofing off. It was really, really funny. And good for them. I feel like some other countries would frown upon that because they wouldn't see it as masculine or whatever. But I thought it was hilarious and good times. And you could totally make an anime out of that. Color theory is something that's so easy to overlook. Exactly. Like even for me with my design here, I picked a different tone of purple than my mama. My mama fixed it, and she took my design and she made it 1,000% better. My mama is Yomogi Sakura. You can find her on my About Me section. I've credited her there. Yeah, so yeah, that's why you really have to trust your artist, because they know the colors better than you. And I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Yeah, same thing. Oh yeah, I should mention that too. So for my background was made by, I don't know how to pronounce their name, but it's like Magmel, Magmel on Twitter. So I'm really, really happy with how they made my room look in the behind me. And it's just perfect. It couldn't have turned out better. I highly recommend them. They're on Skeb as well, but you can check out I've credited them in my About Me section. Right? It fits your design perfectly. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. Especially with the little hints. The little hints of everything. Like the Emerald City Palace behind me. And the road of yellow bricks. And you can see this silver shoe here that may have belonged to somebody else. I know in the movie it's red, but in the book it's silver, and gotta be true to the book. Book came first, so I love that. And you can see it says, "There is no place like home." I think a lot of us recognize that line. And like it's the more I look at it, the even more happier I am. As you know, like I've mentioned a few times that water is very dangerous for witches from Oz. So I like that it has the reminder behind me to keep dry. That's right, gotta keep dry. Stay away from water. Don't want to be all melty. Don't want that. Yeah, so I'm just really happy. I'm definitely want to commission another piece from them again in the future. Yeah, super happy. And you can't see behind the comment box. Maybe I should show the rest of the. There's a little bit more underneath there. Whoa, what did I just press? I just pressed something. Let me see. If I hide the chat, so that's this one. I gotta figure it out. You can tell I'm new at this. I'm new at streaming. So I think it's this one. And this one. Yeah, so you can see how it's got the cute books? Yes, yes, yes. Books are everything. I love books. And it's got like a wizard hat in the corner. But down with wizards. I want to take over Oz. And it's got a broomstick, of course. So I just love it. I really love it. If anybody needs a background, I recommend Magmel. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think being a VTuber is pretty awesome, you guys. I'm really enjoying myself, and I think so far, like, I feel like just chatting streams are my favorite. So far, I did stream Animal Crossing, and I did stream Child of Light, which I also super enjoyed. And Child of Light is such a beautiful game, but I also really love chatting with you guys, and yeah, it's and just having a good time making new friends. I mean, that's what this is all about, right? Making. I like to make new memories with you guys. I'm gonna probably next month start a VTuber journal. I really love journaling, so I'm gonna start writing things in there and printing out pictures, and I really love all that stuff. Indeed, it's all about the fun. Yes, 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 that's right. Yeah. Yeah, and one other thing that I miss about... Oh, hello. Welcome. Welcome, Shisui. Welcome. Hi, hi. How are you today? How are you today? Yeah, one of the other cafes that I went to in Korea was the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but they have that text messaging service, Kakao, I think it's called. They have a cafe with really cute characters, like a Peach. I know the Peach is really popular in Tokyo. The Peach character had their own cafe in Tokyo. So that's why I was surprised when I went to Korea. They had multiple cafes, and for other characters as well. I bought a bunch of the accessories, like a like my AirPod case. My AirPod case. Rest in peace, AirPod. Hello, I'm doing kinda okay. Kinda okay? Well, I hope your day gets even better. And welcome to the stream, and I'm so happy you're here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, but I do have to say I don't really listen to K-pop, as I mentioned, but I did start researching it after because so many people were asking me about BTS. That I do like the girl band Red Velvet. I like Red Velvet. I think that they're really talented. So I think if I went to Korea again, and if somebody, a stranger, asked me again if I was here for music, I could be like, yeah, sure, I like Red Velvet. That's what I would say. And they seem to be really into that over there because I remember shopping for skincare. I really love Korean skincare, and there were people on the street singing and dancing and busking, right? So they would have they would collect money after doing their singing or whatever, dancing. And there were a lot of them. There were a lot of performers. So maybe I saw a future K-pop artist practicing on the street because they were all talented. They could dance and they could sing. So I don't really see that in many places. Korea definitely had the most busking. Well, I guess Paris had a lot of busking too, but it was different. It was like people on the train harassing you. I remember there was a Michael Jackson impersonator, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get to Disneyland Paris, okay? I don't want to get harassed by some person, dressed as Michael Jackson. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I remember I tried, right, and of all the people to be dressed up as, why? It was so random. I don't think anybody on the train gave him money. We all kind of wanted him to go away. I think he could. To be fair, he probably could dance well, like the moonwalk. To be fair, he did have some talent, but just they get way too close to you and they get aggressive if you don't want any part of it. Yeah. I don't think I've talked a lot about the other ones. I haven't talked that much about France. Oh, I can tell you one crazy story that I did something that maybe looking back wasn't the wisest decision. So I know couch surfing isn't popular these days, but I tried it once. But basically, there were some French girls who wanted to go on a road trip, but you know, everybody's on a budget, so they needed one more person to make the trip more affordable. So I responded to them on couch surfing, and I was like, I'll join you guys. And then they were more scared than I was. I don't know why. Yeah, you see, that wasn't very smart. But anyways, luckily they were smart, so we didn't know each other. So they said, okay, how about on Friday, we all meet at, you know, I don't know, let's say McDonald's. It was some restaurant. So I said, okay, sure, I'll be there. I guess they wanted to make sure that I was normal, right? Because I also was from the internet. And all three of them were from couch surfing. Yeah, I know, right? Couch surfing sounds too spooky. Yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't do it now. It's too risky now. But this was yeah, I don't know. I did that then. And so I met up with them. They saw that I was normal, and I saw that they were normal. And so they agreed to let me go with them. So, I went on a road trip with them, and we went to Italy, and we went all around France. We went to what's that famous place? Cannes, where the film festival is. We went there, and we stopped at a whole bunch of places along the way, and so it all worked out okay. But yeah, I have a lot of good memories from that trip. And I remember the French girls were like, did you know that a popular French meal is like a bread or baguette with chocolate? And I was like, you're kidding me. Are you serious? I'm an authentic French now. I can eat that anytime, any day, any place. Baguette with pieces of chocolate. But maybe they were just pulling my leg. But I mean, I love that meal. That sounds awesome. And it is true that they eat a lot of Nutella. But I don't think that's France only. I feel like that's many countries in Europe. They put the Nutella on so many things. And what else from that road trip? Yeah, we ended up couch surfing the entire way. And I have never been on a road trip before, so I didn't know that I was supposed to bring a sleeping bag. But luckily, one of the girls had an extra sleeping bag for me. And it was so much fun and so beautiful, and the weather was perfect, and we had a car. There was only one snafu. It was when we got to Italy. So I think we barely got into Italy. But I remember telling jokes because I remember saying, you guys, I think we're in Italy. And they're like, what makes you think we're in Italy, Yola? And I'm like, look, there's a man with a ponytail. I feel like that's very Italian. We're not in France anymore. And then they were laughing, and then unfortunately we bumped into the car before us. So that wasn't good, right? The car, our car bumped into the car in front of us, and we had literally barely passed the border. Yeah, he had a ponytail. I was right, by the way. We were in Italy. So the man gets out of the car, and he's not happy. And he comes to our window. He sees 4 girls in the car, and he starts yelling at us. And then he's yelling at us in Italian. And unfortunately, between us, there was a lot of languages, but Italian wasn't one of us. Like, none of us spoke Italian. So he was yelling at us, and then we're replying in English and French, and then he got frustrated with us, and then he looked at the back of his car, And then he saw that there was 0 damage to him or to us. And then so he like, I don't remember if he shrugged, but he made like a okay sign. And then he left. So he did all that yelling. He should have looked at his car first before yelling. But, I mean, we were at fault. So, but it all worked out. And then there was another thing. So then we got to Italy. And we go to a cafe. Yeah, so lucky that nothing got damaged. I know. That would have sucked. We just got there. And then there was... Let me think. Oh, yeah. So we made a stop at a bakery or something. And then I got like a bun. And it had apricot jam in it. I'm losing my words. I don't remember what that's called. It wasn't a bun. It was like... I don't know what they're called anymore. A croissant? Yeah, it was like a croissant with the apricot jam. And it was delicious. And then they gave me a cup of espresso. And I'm like, oh, thanks very much. But I don't really drink coffee. And then he looked at me like I was an idiot. And he's like, take the espresso. Take it. Now. So I drank the espresso. And I ate the food and it was good. And actually the espresso was very good. So I don't drink coffee, but I guess Italian espresso, A-okay, no problem. And then the only other story I have 2 more little quick things about Italy, which was there was a random, like, speaking of busking and singing, there was a guy dressed as Zorro. Isn't Zorro from Spain? So why is Zorro walking around dressed up in Italy? I don't know, but I loved it. That made me laugh. I love when they go, you don't know what you like and prove you wrong. Yeah, I don't even think that guy blinked. He was like, take the espresso. Take it. So, he was right. I was wrong. I just wanted a hot chocolate, you know? If you could get a hot chocolate with all the whipped cream. But, yeah, he was right. It was good. And so, yeah, Zorro was funny. That made me laugh. And the last... I saved the best for last. So the last thing was that... What was it? Oh, yes. So I think... I don't remember why we needed to buy a bottle of wine. But it was very, very important that we bought a bottle of wine. So I think we all chipped in and we got a nice bottle. And... one of the girls is leaving the shop, and she dropped it. Like, immediately. Immediately. 2 steps outside of the shop. Yeah, that we had quite a few things in Italy, didn't we? So, the owner of the shop hears the noise. He hears the noise of the shattered wine bottle. And he sees the mess right outside of his shop. And I was like, oh, this is great, because he's gonna give us a new one, and he's gonna be super nice. Yeah, no. Nah, no. That didn't happen. He just said, he said that it was a tragedy that the wine went to waste. And then we helped him, and he picked up the glass pieces. And then we had to buy another bottle. He was right about that too, though. It was a shame that the ground got to drink the wine. Rest in peace, yep. Mask, heroes, no borders. You're right. I guess so, right? If Zorro wants to go to Italy, let Zorro go to Italy. And I should just mind my business. Reminds me of how I saw a French guy at an airport trying to send 11 bottles of wine back to France. But only 10 bottles got confiscated since... 10 bottles got confiscated since he was only allowed to bring 1 bottle back. Poor that guy. That sucks. That sucks. Wow. That is so sad. That's the saddest story. Oh, man. And think of, he probably had intentions to give them away as gifts. Oh, yeah. That is terrible. That's why it's so important to read the rules. Like, when I went to the previous time I went to Tokyo, I think it was 2 years ago. And I asked my friends, what do you want me to bring? And then one of them said she misses cheese. So cheese is very expensive. Cheese is very, very expensive. So I said, sure, I'll bring you some cheese. What kind of cheese would you like? And then she said, Yola, literally any cheese will do. Anything. Any cheese that you can bring, please bring. So I just Googled, like, what cheese can I bring? And it said that I don't know if this was true or not, but it was like you can bring some cheeses like these, but you can't bring other cheeses like those. So I brought a cheese that was okay on the list, and then it said, do not be surprised if you get harassed at the airport. So just be prepared. Just be prepared if they start asking you, like, is this from a fresh farm or is this from a company or whatever. I don't know why some cheeses are banned, but some of them are. So it's the same thing in other countries. Like, I think if the cheese is too young, maybe it has bacteria of some sort. I'm not sure. But so I gave her the cheese, and she was very happy. That's my story. Yeah, you just don't know with the airports. And I have when I left Paris, when I was moving away from Paris, I didn't have a good experience. I tripped and fell, and I broke my laptop. And I didn't know. Until I got back, and I opened up my computer, and it was the only computer that I had. And then I opened it up, and the screen was not shattered, but like it had all the cracks in it. Still usable. I still have it though. Yeah, exactly. You can. Yeah, very painful. Very painful. And there was a whole story there at the airport, which is why I tripped and it wasn't a good day. And so imagine when I finally left Paris, and then I opened my laptop to see that. Oh. But I still have it, and the glass is still broken, and I plugged it into my TV. I plugged it into my TV instead, but now I have a new one. I got a new. That's why I'm able to stream. I mentioned earlier I only discovered VTubers in September, but luckily I had bought this computer. I don't know, August. So I had no idea what VTubers were, but I luckily have a computer that is able to do it. It was salvageable at least. Yeah, I bought that laptop in 2008, and it still runs like brand new, except for the shattered screen that I can never ever take to Starbucks. And yeah, I got a good run. It still works. What was your introduction to VTubing? Oh, great question. I actually have one coworker. Well, they're not my coworker anymore. They switched to another company. But when I got hired at my company now, in the introduction email that they sent, they said that I had just moved from Japan. And so I feel like that coworker looked at me somehow, and they knew. They knew the inside of the nerd. So we quickly became friends. But now I don't really see them anymore because they went to a different company. But they were the one who said, "Hey, have you ever heard of VTubers?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And yeah, so they're the one who sent me a bunch of links. And that's how I fell down the rabbit hole. And actually, I haven't told them. I haven't told them. I haven't sent them the link or said anything. I don't know. I feel like if I tell them, then they're gonna know. So I'd rather just keep anon, which is a bit of a shame because they're the person who sent me the links to a bunch of HoloLive and Japanese indie VTubers, and I really loved what I was seeing. If I tell them, they're going. It's true though. I don't want them to know. They already know. I mean, they already know that I watch anime. Isn't that enough? They don't need to know about the rest. They don't need to know about the Takarazuka and the other super nerdy Japanese hobbies that I have that I haven't spoken about yet on stream. Like I don't know, you guys. I don't want them. You guys can know. I'm happy to tell you guys. Gotta keep the power level hidden till the end. Exactly. I just feel like they will just know too much. Yeah. But yeah, they're the person. How about you guys? I feel like it only takes one video. I feel like if you catch one stream or you see one video on YouTube and then all of a sudden your recommendations are nothing but VTubers. That's what happened. That's what happened to me now. I watched all the funny clips like Pekora and Miko. I'm a big fan of Sakura Miko. I think she's so cute. There's so many talented people. Feel free to mention who your favorites are. There's a lot I haven't seen, obviously, because what it's mid-November, and I only found out about VTubers in September. And if you look at my Twitter and everything, I made everything in September. I made everything like immediately. I was like, I have to try this. This is amazing. Yeah, and I'm loving it. This is only my third stream, but I'm really enjoying it. I love talking with you guys. Right. Oh, you discovered through Miko. Oh, nice. You mostly watch the Niji Sanji EN people right now. I haven't seen any of the Niji Sanji. They haven't been recommended to me on my YouTube watching. I should type them in. I have seen there was Pikami. She's hilarious too. And I love all the Japanese indie VTubers as well. I try to watch the Japanese indie VTubers because I feel like a lot of them are doing some new stuff too. Yep. But I should probably watch more of the EN stuff. Pikami is great. She just did a collab with some Niji Sanji people yesterday. Oh, okay. So maybe I'll be able to check out her VOD. Yeah, because there's always that's the thing. That's the thing with VTubing is there's so much content coming out on a weekly basis. I feel like it's impossible to keep up. Since I'm half decent at Japanese, I got hooked really fast when it comes to HoloLive. Korone is great too. Miko, Kanata, and Coco are my favorites alongside Pikami outside of HoloLive. Yeah, I don't think I've seen Kanata, but I've seen the rest that you've mentioned. And Korone is one of the first ones. I think that was one of the links that I was sent in September. I found Miko on my own. Yeah, Sakura Miko. And then there's so much fan content as well, like 3D videos and stuff that people make. People are so talented, really talented, and I love it when I see clips that make me laugh. Yeah, and I like Pikami's design. Yeah, Miko was the one who put HoloLive on the spotlight thanks to her GTA videos. Yeah, I saw those. Stay home. So funny. She is hilarious. Yeah, I'm really happy. I did read a little bit about her because I'm a huge fan of her. I thought about getting her figurine. So I read a little bit about her and that she had a rough start in the beginning. She didn't have too many viewers, and now look at her. She's a huge success. Yeah, I'm very, very happy for her because I feel like being in a company is probably a lot of pressure. As I don't think I would ever join a company because I prefer to be on my own schedule and pick the games that I want to play and whatnot. But I don't want pressure. I like to just enjoy myself and have fun. I'm for sure getting her. Yeah, see, yeah, I want to get them. I want to get them too. I love figurines. I have 3 figurines in front of me right now on my desk, my computer desk. But they're not VTubers. They're just anime characters. And I was trying to look for another one. I don't know where I put it. I think I have some boxes from Japan that I haven't fully put away, or I guess they're like in storage, right? So I'm pretty sure I have some figurines in there that I need to take out. Miko's story is great. She wanted to quit at some point, but people like Subaru talked her out of it. Oh, no way. I didn't hear about that part. Oh, wow. And now look at her. She's a huge success. Yeah, I'm so happy for her. Even more hearing about that. I'm so glad that she didn't quit because she's hilarious. She's really, really funny. What figures? Oh, mine are like I have Mikasa from Attack on Titan. I have Sakura-chan from Cardcaptor Sakura. And I have, I dropped one. One fell in. There's like for part of my wire management, one of them fell in. Like, so I don't remember what the other one is. Oh, but I also have a Deadpool here. It's a little Deadpool. It's funny because it has he has hearts for eyes. That was really, really early though. Like you said, when she barely had viewers. She was discouraged. Based, Mikasa. Yeah, she's definitely. I love characters. Strong female characters. She's awesome. Oh man, I think Sakura was my first anime as a kid. Oh yeah, I was so happy when it got rebooted. I need to finish that. It's on my list. I think I'm on episode 6 or something of the little cute little reboot they did. Yeah, I love Clamp. They make a lot of good things. But they're so, like, anime has really exploded. I remember when to get anime, it was really hard to get. Now it's easy. You can get it anywhere. So that's a good thing though, because they're always coming out with new stuff. Yeah. How about other figures? They're always coming out with new figures. I just saw that they're coming out with Final Fantasy figurines, and they look amazing. I'm just trying to see if I still have the. Oh, I don't have it. Where did it go? I was looking at hard drives earlier because I need to get a external hard drive. So I was looking now. All my phone is all full of those instead of the figurines. Oh, here we go. Final Fantasy figurines of Tifa and Aerith. They're going to be. They look amazing. They're so detailed. So I thought about getting one of those. But they're always coming out with new ones. And that's one thing I miss too about living in Japan. Because obviously it's way easier to get figurines there than outside. And sometimes they really put the price overcharging. Yeah, they put the prices at, like, I've seen them to be super, super high. Double the price of the original retail price and whatnot. So, I don't know. I might wait until I can go there and put them in my suitcase. Or ask, because who can I ask, right? I can get a shop. Yeah, I guess there's shops who will export it. How do you guys get your ones? Or maybe if I Amazon Japan, they sell some. I saw Gura's, I think is gonna be on there maybe. Her little smile figurine. I'm just gonna have a sip of my tea. Yeah. And I wish that they made even more. I love all the figurines. Ami for a lot of things. Never heard of it. I'm gonna type it in right now. I don't want to forget that. Prices kill me. Oh, prices kill me. Shirts are like $30. And that's much lower. Huh? How come I've never heard of this shop? I'm probably getting like ripped off on Amazon Japan. Yeah, I guess they have to make money too, but $30 for a shirt is a lot. Oh yeah, look. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at all these. Look at them all. Well, you guys, you have just spent my money in advance. There it goes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a do you guys know the anime Black Butler? Black Butler? Kuroshitsuji? That one. I love that one. I have a figurine of Sebastian, of course. And I I was super close when I was in Tokyo. At some point there was Black Butler credit card. You could get a Black Butler Visa, I think it was. And I really wanted to get it, but I couldn't because it would expose me every time I'm at a shop. The teller would be like, so you're that kind of foreigner, you're that kind of gaijin. That's why you're here. I can't with that. But then again, I did go to a bunch of like anime and everything, and I was shameless. I bought whatever I wanted. Yeah, gotta get the subtle merchandise. Yes, I have some of those too. Like keychains. That's why keychains are such a good one. And magnets, because they go on your fridge. So you can always hide them. Like, for example, on Tuesday, I had like a fire inspection. So you have to, if you have like nerdy merchandise and you don't want people to see it, it's a good time to put everything in the closet, hide everything. I understand why people say they're a closet weeb. I have a pin of Coco's logo, and no one but fans know what it is. Sneaky. That was a wise purchase. That was a very wise purchase. Yeah, I love that. And that way, well, yeah, if you see somebody in the wild who knows what it is, they're automatically cool, right? Because they recognize it. Love that. Yeah, there's something. And you know, it's funny because I remember, I want to say I was at Tokyo Big Sight for a stationery convention. It might have been somewhere else. I can't remember. But all the stationery conventions I used to go because I love journaling. And at the stationery convention, they sold covers, like fabric covers, to cover your manga, cover your comics, for when you're on the train, so people can't see what you're reading. And so I bought a couple of those. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. So it's like you're not alone. There's other people who are hiding that they like to read comics. Yeah. Yeah, I wanna get some VTuber merchandise too. I didn't even know that they sold VTuber merchandise like that. I thought they just sold like figurines, and maybe keychains. I didn't think of pins. That's cool. I should get some of those. I'll look for them. Do they sell them on these websites? They have VTuber stuff. Emmy, or just anime. No, they should have everything, right? Wow, look at these prices though. Wow. Niman, that's high. Oh well, if you really want it, right? I have Matsuri's cat pin that I wear on my work hat. Is that from Matsuri, the Hololive VTuber? I think I watched an entire stream of hers, where her mom was on it with her, and I loved it. It was hilarious. Everyone thinks it's just a cat. Genius. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I'm gonna type it in. Cat pin. See if I can see a picture of it. It's so cute. Yeah, see? That's so smart that they come up with that. Like, I have one of my hobbies. is I really like ball jointed dolls. Like there's a brand called Volks who invented them. They're basically like hand painted dolls, and they sell merchandise like that too, where it's very subtle, and only another fan would recognize it. Yeah. Unfortunately, none of my friends in Tokyo were interested in those dolls, but I did have one friend who was like, I told her that I was interested in dolls, but I didn't tell her I was interested in anything else like anime. And she wanted to go to the store with me so bad. There's a huge store in Akiba, and yeah, Volks. Actually, they sell like other figurines like planes, I think. But I like the dolls. Anyways, but she chickened out in the end. She's like I'll just look at the pictures online. I can't go to the store in Tokyo. But I can understand that. It's not for everybody. And it's a very, very expensive hobby. But I love them very much. They're so beautiful. They're kind of like VTubers, where you can choose how they look like. You can get green skin and whatnot, purple skin and all kinds of things. But I think I'm not sure, but I think if you order a custom doll, you have to live in Japan. That's what I mean when I say there's like, Japan has everything. Japan has all kinds of hobbies for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're into flower arrangement or kimono or festivals, or I mean there's something for everybody. Yeah. That's why I'm not surprised when a lot of people, even people who have no nerdy hobbies at all, but they still want a vacation there. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many things. And of course, like I mentioned previously on another stream, that there's so many unique foods. And I get fooled with that all the time. People don't tell me what the food is. They just say, "Here, it's delicious, eat it." And then you find out later that it was cow tongue, or it was chicken elbows. True story. I met a doll enthusiast, and she'd spend a lot on the stuff. Yeah, there are some really intense people in the hobby. I can't even tell you. Like, there are some people who are super, like, we're talking, like, I don't want to get specific, but imagine if you bought a house to hold your dolls. That's how many you have. Obviously, I don't have any kind of budget anywhere near that. How was I supposed to know that Sakura meat meant horse meat? Oh. Right? It's just like at the grocery store, you can buy bear in a can. Bear meat. I remember I took a picture of, I think it was octopus, and just the legs, and I sent a picture to my friend who didn't live in Japan, and she was like, "What is that? What is that?" I'm like, "It's octopus." And she's like, "Why would you send me this?" I'm like, "'Cause it's hilarious. Look at it." And also, the one thing that made me laugh was the size of like soup. So Campbell's soup, that's like a Western brand, and then the soup, the same brand, but the size of the can in Japan was like 1/3 the size. The can of soup was tiny. I was like, "Is this for children? This is tiny." So that's one thing I should recommend to anybody, to go to a Japanese grocery store and just take a look. You'll see a lot of cool things. Horse meat, though, I can't say I've eaten that. I have not eaten horse meat. How was that? I had the opportunity in France to eat frog legs, but I said I didn't do it. So I know a lot of people talk about Asia having unique food, but come on, it's everywhere. There's kind of unique dishes everywhere. Frog legs in France, and they treated it like it was completely normal. So it is over there. Aside from the shock after, it was alright. I kind of like their small portions of stuff. Like bags of chips, That's just enough for a small snack. Yeah, it is a good thing. It is a good thing. Their 100 milliliter soda cans elude me though. That's not enough. Yeah, oh, can we talk about that? Can we talk about the drink vending machines? I miss them so much. I miss those vending machines so much, especially in the winter because you can get hot drinks, right? Hot drinks that come right out of the vending machine. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of another story where I was wearing yukata and it was a heat wave. And I knew people told me, they're like, the heat is very real. Very real in Tokyo, so take care of yourself. But I didn't take them seriously. I just figured, well, I'll know when it's hot. But when I was wearing yukata, I was on the train and I almost passed out. It was so hot in August. And then I had to get off of the train. And then I saw that vending machine. And I bought 2 drinks. And I drank them as fast as I could. And I started to feel better. So then that's when it started to make sense. Like, oh, that's why they have these drinking vending machines everywhere. Like, literally everywhere. But it made sense because when it gets that hot in the summer and you need a drink right away, it's super necessary and convenient. Me too. I miss taking 10 steps from my place to fetch a drink. And the variety was crazy. Japan's summer was pure hell. It was. And you're so right. It really was 10 steps. I think there were 2 vending machines on 2 different streets right by my house. Convenience is their favorite thing. Yeah. Nothing like hiking and seeing a vending machine at the mountaintop. Yep. And can you imagine that job? Can you imagine the job of the person who has to drive around and refill them and take the money out? What a cool job. They will have a job forever. Their job will never be threatened to go away. And they probably get paid. I hope they get paid a lot because they probably have to stop every 10 steps. They're everywhere, those machines. Yeah. I wish that we had them everywhere in the West. Wouldn't they make so much money? Like, why don't they sell that technology of keeping the drinks hot inside of the machine? Like, the machines that I see here are so trash compared to that. The one doing that is a hero. Yes. And you know what? Now that I think of it, even though I was there for so long, I never saw anybody ever refilling the drinks. I never saw the machine open. Wow, I just realized that. Do they do it at midnight? Machines where I am don't even keep the cold drinks cold. Now that I believe. We don't even have a vending machine where I live. Oh no. Sweden isn't a fan, I guess. Oh man. That's the worst news I've heard. How can they not have any? Well, even so, if they're not keeping the drinks cold, that's not good either. That'd be super annoying. You put your money in, and then it comes out warm. Pass. And then you don't know until you already paid. Yeah, and I have to say the one in Japan, they never get stuck. I've had my drinks or my chocolate bars get stuck in the Western machines, and then I just wasted my money. I do remember reading something like 12 people die every year from frustration at the vending machines by kicking them, and then they die because the machine falls on them. I don't know if that's true, but I see how that could happen because I was pretty upset when my chocolate bar got stuck. What I like about seeing the Japanese ones is that it's not just Coke or Pepsi products. Actual drink selection. Yeah, all those like green tea and apple juice, orange juice, purple drink. I don't know what that was. Maybe blueberry? I don't know. Yeah, it's true. And so many different kinds of tea. And they changed. They got limited edition ones. I can't hate on that. It's true. I didn't even think about that because I never got my drink stuck over there, right? Never. Not once. And they were like, a good price. Yeah. Yeah, I miss those machines. Honestly, Japan, they would make so much money if they shared a lot of their technology like that. Like, they even have weird stuff like corn soda. That sounds terrible. I haven't had corn soda. Where'd you see that? Have you tried melon soda? I thought that was weird. I didn't like it. It's like a dark green color. I still ordered it though because it was unique. Yeah. Yeah, they have so much. Like, how about you guys' you like the melon soda? Oh, you like it. Yeah, it wasn't for my taste, but when I looked around the restaurant, a lot of people had it. It was at I want to say Sweets Paradise. I think it was at Sweets Paradise restaurant. But I don't like it. Both of you like it. Hannah, you like melon soda. Okay. It is popular. I think I remember seeing it at Disney World too. They had some weird flavors. Specifically, they were advertising like salty Coke or something. But yeah, there's another thing that they sell. I mean, another thing that they have in Japan is microwaves. That are better. Their microwaves are better than any of the microwaves I've tried elsewhere. I can't speak for Sweden, or I don't know what the microwaves are like there. But let me tell you an example. In the house that I lived in, there was a microwave, and I remember it was red. And in the freezer, there was rice, and you would have the rice by itself wrapped in saran wrap. But it was a special kind of saran wrap because it was microwave safe. So there was a bunch of rice like that, and I would take one, and I would put it into the microwave, even though it was still in the saran wrap, and just put it in the microwave, and then I would press start. And it was perfect every time. And I can do that with anything. I could do that with Japanese curry or anything. And I would just press start, and it would be perfect every time. And I told my company, I said, can I take this microwave with me? Can I take this microwave with me when I leave Japan? I can buy a converter for the plug. I just need this machine. And they laughed. So I didn't get to take it with me. And then when I went back to visit, I don't know, a couple years later, and then they let me stay there. They let me stay there at the same house again. But other people, anyway, long story. But other people had put stuff in the house. It was empty. But anyways, long story short, the microwave was gone. The microwave that I loved was gone. I guess maybe somebody else in the company took it. I don't know. But I'll never forget you, microwave sound. It was beautiful. And then the microwave that had replaced it was trash. So, I don't know. I should have took a picture of it so I would know what brand it was. Yep, it will be missed. It was beautiful. Can you imagine? Every single time. Perfect curry. Oh, but you know what? The Japanese ovens, suck. I've never had such a miserable oven experience in my life. And that's why the microwave was so godly. It was godly. So the oven, it was just like, why even bother? Their ovens are so garbage. I have never gotten perfectly heated food from a microwave. I need this. Right? Right? And then the more I find out, like they would make $1 million. They would, no, more than $1 million. They'd make $1 bajillion if they sold that technology outside of Japan. I tried when I was in Korea. I'm like, well, maybe they have something similar. But my Airbnb, it did have a microwave, but it was just like the same as the Western ones, I felt. But the one thing I did like about Korea, I went to the just like your everyday mall. Just a mall. And I went to go look at the kimchi fridges. I would like to have a kimchi fridge one day. And I think that that's so cool that they have it. They have that. But that's how much kimchi they eat, I guess, that it needs to have its own separate fridge. Pretty cool. You can get them, I think, but they're probably really expensive outside of Korea. And so I was asking the sales guy, I was like, how about your microwaves? Do they microwave perfectly? But I don't think he understood me, you guys. But he did understand me when I said microwave fridge. I mean, kimchi fridge. Sorry, kimchi fridge. My mom has a separate fridge for her kimchi. I wish I had that. I'm so envious. Your mom knows about life. She knows about all the important things in life, and you should listen to her and take her advice when she says things, because if she has a kimchi fridge, then she knows the right way to live. Yeah, that's so awesome. That is so awesome. And so I guess your cucumber kimchi is in there then. I still have to try that, by the way. I gotta find that. Cucumber kimchi. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that other countries have just as unique things. I'm trying to think. In France, I remember thinking in France that it was really weird that my house had the washer and dryer. No, just a washer. I don't think there... Oh yeah, there was a dryer. But anyway, the washer was in the kitchen. And I thought that was really weird. But when I went to Korea, my Airbnb was the same thing. My Airbnb had the... I think it's because in France, the house was really old, and the houses are small, I guess. I don't know. The house was super old, so maybe it's just like a plumbing thing. It's more convenient to have the washer beside the kitchen sink. I gotta learn how to appreciate kimchi. It's so easy to appreciate. It's so easy. It's so good. But I agree, though, a little bit, because sometimes some kimchi is spicier than others, right? So, I mean, it's happened to me. I take one bite, and then I'm like, oh, uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Nah, I don't live with my parents anymore, so my mom doesn't make it much. No! That's sad. That's another sad thing that I've read today. Oh no! What is this person saying? See, now I get to use something new. How do I delete something from the chat? Let me try. Nope, I don't see how to do it. Oh well, I'll have to Google that and figure that out for the next chat. It just tells me that I can copy the message. Oh wait, maybe I'm in the wrong tab. Let's see. You should be able to click on their name and timeout or ban. Click to reply. Add friend. Ban. Did I ban them? Yay! Yeah, I think it disappeared, right? Thanks for your help. I would not have figured that out. I wanna try authentic kimchi. The only kind near me is some cheap store-bought stuff, and it's good, but not great. Yeah, there are... You have to find a grandma or somebody's mom who can make it. Because I agree. Even if you try to make it yourself, for me, I wouldn't be able to make it right, because you need to know how it's supposed to taste. Like, you need to have a grandma. Yeah, that's why I really recommend Halmoni's recipe in Seoul. Grandma's recipe restaurant. Because it really felt like you were eating some homemade food. Yeah, by an expert. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure that other countries have things to offer that I don't even know about. Like for France, it was definitely the food. The food didn't matter what they made. It was perfect every time. And I remember telling jokes before I moved there. I was like, Okay, everybody. Remember how I look like now, because when I come back, I'm going to be 3 times the size. It's just gonna be this way. So, but I was really surprised that because there's so much walking, that it's really hard to gain weight. So it never happened. I ate like a glutton, but I looked the same when I got back. Japan's pretty similar too. You walk a lot. Even if you take the train, you still have to walk a lot. But in France, there were stairs. There were stairs everywhere. Yeah, so I feel like if you have a disability, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard to live in Japan, hard to live in France. They don't cater to wheelchairs and whatnot, I felt. It's the same in Japan. You walk so much, you burn those calories off instantly. Yep. Because I did think though, like in Paris, I was like 100%. Like the weight is gonna come. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna gain 100 pounds minimum. But in Japan, I figure you always hear that their food is healthy and everything. So I didn't think that it would happen as much. But I did meet gals who told me that they gained 15 pounds. Oh, and I said, how? How did you gain 15 pounds? And they said it was from eating ramen. From eating ramen all the time. I guess it has it's oily. I didn't eat ramen too much, so I don't love it. I don't love ramen. Tom, speaking of which, I'm gonna go running before it goes too late. Thanks for the stream. It's been fun. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for joining. Have a great run, and hope you can join again. Thanks for joining today. It's great chatting. Ramen is very oily, especially tonkatsu. Yeah, so that's what must have happened to them. They must have ate that a lot. 15 pounds? But you know what? It's because it's everywhere. And it's quick. And it's affordable. So, some of them were English teachers. I wasn't an English teacher, but they have to work a lot of hours, right? Especially in Japan, where you have to know everything about your students from what I understand. So they worked a lot of hours, and so they didn't have time or energy to go home and cook. So they could just get a quick ramen. Yeah. I didn't have ramen too much. I would say like maybe only 5 times in the entire time I was there. I eat it more now. Now that I left Japan, I eat it more often. But sometimes I would see the famous places that had huge lineups. So I'm sure that they must be pretty good. I had one that was, I think it's too oily for me. That's why I didn't like it too much. I did have one that was lemon based instead of the pork oily. So I think I like that one a bit better. Yeah. And I did know one person who she was on, I think she was on a really weird diet. Or actually, you know what? I think she was from Sweden. And she used to make me laugh because she would say that she would go to IKEA to eat the meatballs when she felt homesick. Yeah, I think she said that. But I think she was just pulling my leg. I think she was just joking. But I think she had a rough time because there were a lot of things that she didn't want to eat or couldn't eat. I want to say that she couldn't eat fish. She didn't want to eat fish. So if she wanted gyoza, or if she had to only eat gyoza. She didn't have very many options, basically. But I'm sure she had to find something. I bet she was for real. Going to Japanese IKEA, or do they call it IKEA? I don't remember anymore. I never went to IKEA in Japan. It was like being back home. Even the tags were in Swedish. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Japanese IKEA. No, I never went. I used to go to shops like Muji. But yeah, you're right. Because if it's like Starbucks, right? So no matter where you go, it's comfort. You know what to expect. Yeah. Just gonna have a sip of my tea. I love IKEA. I can see why it's like super super famous. Just like Uniqlo. Uniqlo too. It's like if you make something and are able to make it affordable, people are gonna love it. Like when I was in France, I thought that Uniqlo was French. I thought it was a French clothing brand, and then I found out much later that it was Japanese, and it was super successful. Like their sweaters were flying off the shelves. Yeah, and their prices were great, especially if you could catch a sale. And then even the Uniqlo in Japan had all these limited editions, T-shirts and collabs. They had I mentioned before they had Animal Crossing shirts, but they've also done anime shirts in the past. Yeah, so many good shops. Surprisingly high quality too. I own some jeans from them, and they haven't degraded for half a decade. Yeah, see, and you can wear jeans a lot. So there you go. I don't think I've had their jeans, but I definitely have some of their sweaters. And the cool thing too was that if you're outside, then you're not dressed warm enough, you can just go to Uniqlo and pick something up for 2,000 yen, right? And then now you're okay. You've got something to keep you warm. Yeah. And another thing I miss is the izakayas. Like at the time, I didn't love izakayas because I don't. What are they in English? Just like a pub, right? Like a pub or a bar. Yeah, a pub. I would say a pub. And I didn't like going to them because it was you have to go with your company, and it was like they made you stay out so late and after work, and you'd have to go. You have to go. I don't know, to keep everybody happy, and everybody else was going, so you're expected to go. And at the time, I was like, oh, this is such like I could be doing other stuff with this time, or it's Monday night, and I'd rather be at home. And then, but now looking back, I missed them. I missed them because the food was good. I remember they had a fried onion that looked like a flower. The way that they fried it, it was delicious. I always thought going with your company was an odd tradition, but going to an izakaya with a group of friends is really nice. Very cheap drinks too. Yeah, it is weird to go with your company, but they kind of have to. Hopefully they start doing that less, because it takes up a huge chunk of your week, especially if you have to go like 2-3 times, even 2 times. But yeah, izakaya with friends is always nice. I do have fond memories of that too. You can get the skewers and get the sake or whatever. And there's some like obviously people go to the normal izakayas, but if you go to Ginza, which is like the rich neighborhood, there's some really classy izakayas there too. One of my friends took me to one, and I couldn't believe the presentation. I remember looking around like, this place is so fancy, and looking at the plate and everything. So there's some more expensive izakayas too if you look for them in places like Ginza. Yeah. There was another one too. I think it was near Shinjuku. There's a street called Golden Guy, I think. I only went there once, but there were a bunch of like something like izakaya and bars where some of them only had like 3 seats, and maybe you can't get in unless you know the owner. Stuff like that. Really, really cool niche places on that place. That street, I guess. It was kind of hidden, but people know about it. Golden Guy. I think that's what it was called. Yeah. And I remember another thing was when it was the cherry blossom season, you could literally take like I remember I found a branch. So it was like a tree branch piece that had fallen off the tree. And I noticed that it still had the blossom. Like they hadn't blossomed yet. And so I took it home and then I put it in a jar. And then it blossomed into the beautiful sakura a couple days later. Like how beautiful is that? I wish that those pink trees were everywhere. And I see why the sakura trees are very special to the Japanese. Oh, you went to Golden Gai? Yeah, see? The small izakaya seem cozy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting place. You can find something for anything. Oh yeah, that was another thing too that made me laugh. There was a place. Of course, there's like Irish pubs, things like that. There's Irish pubs in Tokyo. There was an American restaurant that was, or maybe it was the Irish pub. I can't remember, but anyways, there was like an English speaking bar where you could get Thanksgiving dinner. You could order Thanksgiving dinner. I thought that was really, really funny, and I didn't participate. I didn't go for that, but apparently it was a big hit with the foreigner crowd. So if they're feeling homesick, they could go get Thanksgiving dinner for Thanksgiving, like around this time of year. And I know that there's also the American base. So what is that called? American military base. That some of my American friends would go to there. If you have to have a connection to get there, I think, to get in. But you can go do groceries there if you like to buy American cereals and whatnot. So, yeah, Japan has everything. I miss it. I miss it. But at least we have anime. We'll always have anime. We'll always have anime. We'll always have comics. Oh, is this another comment that I need to delete? Who is this person? Oh, okay. You're okay. You're okay. You pass. You're gonna steal my witch hat? I can help you with that. I can help you with that. Ta-da! Now you have my witch hat. Now you have it. Dun, 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 dun. It was funny. I had to take the hat off yesterday because I was gaming, and I was missing half the stuff because my hat was in the way. I couldn't read the dialogue. I couldn't read the dialogue because my hat was in the way. It made me laugh a lot. So I took off the hat for part of the stream. Their population density... Oh yeah, and welcome by the way. Hot like lip gloss, welcome. Their population density really works in favor of the whole having everything. Yeah, it's true. It's the same way. I remember if you think of anything, if you think... Like people were lucky if you go to Fuji Q on a weekday, right? When most people are at work. But for a lot of things, if you think you have a unique idea, like, oh, I think I'll go have a picnic at the Shinjuku Garden. Yeah, you and everybody else. Like, there's so many people there, even during the day. So, if you have a unique idea, it's not unique. There will be other people who are doing the same thing, and hundreds of them. And same thing happened to me in France. I think I waited last minute for something. It was something Nightmare Before Christmas related. I think it was around Halloween or Christmas, and I was like, oh, it's Monday. Nobody's gonna be there. I think it might have been a museum or something. Anyways, I get there, and I barely got in. I barely got a ticket to the event. Everybody was there. It felt like the whole city was there. There's no unique ideas in big cities like that. Tokyo, New York, you name it. Any big city, metropolitan. I'm sure like Shanghai and other places are the same. Thank God for anime. I can go back. Yes, exactly. And I have to say, some of them are so realistic. Like, what was that movie that was such a big hit? There was that movie. I don't remember what it was called anymore, but it had like, there was a little bit of time travel in it. And it was like a guy and then a girl, and then there's stars and time travel. Anyways, there's parts where they show them living their everyday lives in Tokyo. And it was so real. It made me feel like, I was like, natsukashi. I just felt like I was living in Tokyo watching that movie. It was so realistic. The subway, the noises, everything. I know that one person was so missing Japan so much that they changed their cell phone ring to sound like the subway line. One of the subway lines. The noise that the train makes. For sure. While we got to see everything at Fuji Q, it still took a day to get there due to lines. Yeah, see? Yeah, there are some massive lines. The announcer voice at the trains get me super nostalgic. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to think of, nostalgic. Yeah, oh my gosh. That's one thing I do have to say that I didn't like about Japan, actually, was that sometimes people are so, keep to yourself a bit. Keep to yourself. So, for example, when I was in Paris, if I was struggling with my luggage, I would have like 5, 6, 7 people who would offer to help me. In Tokyo, I was legitimately struggling with my luggage, and nobody offered to help me. Not one person. Everybody would look like the other way, pretend they don't see me or whatever. Like, keep to themselves. It's your luggage. It's your problem. So that was very surprising to me, compared to the Western countries where somebody would take pity on you. And especially Paris, because you would think, oh, they're snobby, right? That's the reputation, that they're snobby. But yeah, I would literally have 5, 6 people offering to help me right away, and I didn't even need help. But in Japan, I had a lot more things to buy, so my luggage was a lot bigger, and I was legitimately struggling with it. But I did make it in the end. I just had to use my own power. Yeah. Yeah, I think that the announcer voice for Shibuya would definitely, if I was gonna change my ringtone to a train station, it would be an announcer announcing Shibuya Station. For sure. Yeah, but you have to miss Japan a lot to do that. Yeah, you're mostly on your own there, except if you drop something. They'll always tell you if you do, in my experience. Oh yeah, you know what? That brings back so many memories. I'm usually not clumsy, I swear, but the time I had the lemon ramen I was talking about, I left my cell phone it was like 5 in the morning, and I was with my friend, and we had a couple beers, and I left my cell phone, and which was a huge deal because iPhones are not cheap, right? And one of the workers chased us down. We were quite far, and gave me my phone. That was one thing where I was like, holy smokes, thank you so much. I think in Western countries, my phone would probably be gone. Not from the worker, but from a patron, from one of the people at the restaurant. And that happened to me another time. Base clerk, yeah, totally. And there was another time I was at there's a French bakery called Pierre Hermé. And I'm a huge fan of sweets, as I've already said. So when I was in Tokyo, I went there, and I ordered like 3 desserts. Oh my gosh, I have a really funny story. Anyway, let me continue. So I was at this dessert place, this French bakery in Tokyo. I think it's near Aoyama or Omotesando. And there were these 3 people who looked like they were from somewhere in the Middle East, like maybe Saudi Arabia. And they were having a good time. They ordered lots of sweets, and they ate, and they had a good time. I was sitting next to them. But unfortunately, they left a bag of treats that they bought at another bakery. So I think normally people would just, oh well, they left it behind and it's not our bakery stuff, so let's just throw it out. But I told the clerk, I said, oh, those foreigners left this behind. It's not mine, because they were sitting next to me. And then the manager took the bag of sweets, and I saw her. She ran after them. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I knew she was going to do that, I would have did it myself. Like, she's the manager. She was like an older lady. And then she came back, and she was totally sweating. And they were quite far. They were really far. I couldn't even see them anymore. I just saw her running after, like running in the distance. And she came back, and then she gave me a bag of sweets. Because she said that it would have been really inconvenient if they would have kept the sweets for them, and maybe those foreigners never would have came back or whatever, right? So she was, and I was really taken aback. I was like, wow, you don't have to give me that. Thank you, that's so nice. So that was, and I'm sure that they were delighted too. Like, they left it behind, and then a stranger's returning it to them. It was the same thing like with my cell phone. So I do have to say the level of, if it's a service worker, yeah, you're definitely gonna get VIP service in Japan. You feel safe when you forget something valuable, because no one takes anything for themselves. My friend forgot his wallet with so much money inside of it, and at an arcade, and he went back the next day and got it back from a clerk. A customer apparently told them that it's lost property. Amazing. And none of the money was missing? Holy cow. Yeah, see, in some other countries that definitely would not be the case. I remember I was in Hawaii for a wedding. Oh, wow, all of it. All of the money was there. Holy cow. Yeah, I was in Hawaii for a wedding, my friend's wedding, and my friend was from Japan, so it was like a Japanese wedding, and they wanted to get married in Hawaii. Long story, but it was crazy. Imagine this, they're getting married, and they only got to take 2 days off from work. That's Japan for you. But anyways, so I was with my friend, and she left her phone in the taxi in Hawaii. It was gone. She never got it back. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. Her phone, and she was just visiting. So imagine you're in Hawaii for 2 days, and your phone is gone. Felt so bad for her. And I was in the taxi with her. I didn't realize that she didn't have her phone with her. Felt so bad. Yeah. There was another story that came to my mind earlier. What were we saying? We were saying lost items. I lost it. It'll come back to me. Or maybe I'll save it for another stream when I remember. Yeah, oh my gosh, but there's so many bags of sweets. Yeah, bags of sweets. Well, this wasn't the story, but I remember I spent maybe 6,000 yen on sweets from another bakery. And I left it on the train. I was devastated. And then I felt so bad about it. Like I felt sick over it, because I really wanted those sweets. And so I went to the train people, and I was hoping that it would be another happy ending, like my cell phone. But the sweets were gone. And I went to the workers, and they're famous for like finding stuff. If you leave your jacket or something. And then they looked at me. They were looking at me with pity. So I had a feeling. I'm like, oh, okay. My sweets are gone. My sweets were gone. And then, yeah, I felt so terrible about it. And then I went a couple of days later to buy the sweets over again. Because I could overwrite that memory with the new sweets. So I don't feel bad about it anymore, because I got the sweets again. Yeah, but it cost me double, but oh well. Yeah, so I would say most things have a happy ending. But if you leave, yeah, I did get the sweets in the end. But it's so true. Like, I had to tell one of my friends that you can't leave your laptop at Starbucks outside of Japan. Like, don't do it. Your laptop, if you go to the washroom, your laptop won't be there anymore. And I said, honestly, for, like, to generalize, Japan really does need to make a pamphlet or something for Japanese tourists. Like, don't do these things outside of Japan. Your stuff will be gone. It's terrible, but that's not true for everywhere. But I will say that when I was in Korea, I dropped my credit card. I went to Starbucks, and Starbucks in Asia is like way better, by the way. They just have different limited edition stuff, and it's really unfair. And I try not to think about it because they get awesome stuff. Even the merchandise we don't get. So I was in Korea, and they had a really, really cute Starbucks keychain. So I bought it. And then I think I must have dropped my credit card somewhere outside of the Starbucks. And nobody spent it. It was just, there were no charges on it when I called to cancel the card. And I didn't realize till way later that it was missing because I have another card. So I asked around, and I was like, wow, is Korea like Japan? Like, is Korea where everything is safe? But apparently they to generalize, they said no. It's because there are cameras everywhere. So if they tried to use a credit card with a non-Korean name and they look Korean, it's gonna get like they're gonna be suspicious. So that might be why nobody tried to use your card. But in any case, that was a happy ending too. Kind of creepy that if it's because there's cameras everywhere. Though I don't know. That's just what I was told. But yeah, there's all kinds of things when you're traveling. You're so happy, and you don't notice. I didn't notice that was missing for a long time. But I still have that keychain. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's above my desk. A little Starbucks keychain. It's like London, where there's a camera at every corner. Yeah, that freaked me out. That really freaked me out about London. Like, I get it. I get it when it's a huge city like that. But, nah, I don't know how I feel about cameras to that level. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I hear that other cities want to emulate that. They want to emulate that. It's odd always being watched. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're just trying to walk somewhere or something, and then you find out that your face is cataloged, 92,000 times. Yeah, kind of weird. What is that saying? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because our technology is at that level. And yeah, what happens to those hard drives? Yeah. Actually, I had a hard drive where I put all my photos from Paris, and then my hard drive died. So I called a repair shop, and I said, "Hi, my hard drive. I have an external hard drive, and when I plug it in, it just clicks. It doesn't read it anymore. How much would it cost to try to recover those files?" And they gave me such a high price. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna wait. So I might have lost all those pictures. I still have all the Japan pictures, but my pictures from France are pretty much all gone. Yep. But I have to say to myself that how often do we look at those pictures really, right? Like, when I had them, I never looked at them. The only pictures I looked at were the ones where I'm standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. I mean, or I just say that to myself to feel better. I might save up. I think that's the next thing I'm going to save up for. Yeah. The only other important thing that I would need is a chair. Because even streaming, even now it's been over 3 hours, right? And it's important to have a proper chair. But the nostalgic memories when you want to look at them a year later, yeah, true. Luckily I did. You know how some companies sell photo books? So photo books are like a huge thing in France. So I did get a photo book made. So I have that at least. I have those photos in a printed physical book. So I have some, but it's just not very many. Yeah. Yep. Oh well, I'll just save up and then hope for the best. Hope that they can recover them. The photo library, it also had all of my music on that hard drive for all time. But, I mean, music is something that you can get again. It's just the photos are irreplaceable. But I still have the memories in my mind. Yeah. Yeah. I still remember a lot of things. Like, I remember going to Versailles. Versailles is really famous. The chateau. Castle. And I remember being shocked because outside of Versailles, which is like Marie Antoinette, everybody knows Marie Antoinette, and there's a McDonald's there. There's a McDonald's really close walking distance, which I was like, don't do this. No. And the story gets worse. So there was a bus load of tourists. I'm not going to say where they were from, but before going into the castle, they all poured into the McDonald's. And I was like, really? There's a French bakery right beside the McDonald's. Why would you do this? Yep. So when I think of Versailles, I cringe a little bit when I remember that. But I can laugh about it now. My goodness. Yeah. McDonald's. Of all places. They could have went anywhere else. They even could have went to a shop that is inside of Versailles. I think it was a sweets bakery, so that's all I cared about. But just why? Why would you get off the bus, off the plane? Oh well. I can't judge. Maybe they were really happy. Let them eat Big Macs or something, Marie said. Let them eat Big Macs. I love that. Actually, they're not called Big Macs there. I think they're called Royale with cheese. Yep. McDonald's. Well, McDonald's does cater to the local taste, right? I don't remember did I tell the story about the McDonald's? I don't remember if I told the story about McDonald's. Did I tell the story about the hot chocolate? Well, I'll retell it quickly then, just in case I haven't told it. But you can get hot chocolate at McDonald's in America, and they give you hot chocolate that has been mixed in water, right? Chocolate powder mixed in water. But in France, if you order a hot chocolate, they give you a cup of hot milk, and they give you chocolate powder, and you have to stir it in yourself. So it really goes to show the different quality of life and expectations. They have higher expectations. Meanwhile, in America, there's hot water mixed with that. Well, they're living like royals over there in France. Maybe French people like the experience of mixing it yourself, but it's not that. In America, you get hot water and chocolate, but in France, you get hot milk for the same price. How is that fair? That's not fair. But good for France having higher standards. I really, really respect that. Yeah, it's messed up. It is. But I really respect that about France. They have extremely high standards. And they take care. They take care of their farmers. They take care of local business owners more than a lot of other countries do. Yeah. I can't remember for sure, but I remember there was a McDonald's competitor, and I think it was called Quick, Quik. I think. If I remember, if the story's true, they only agreed to let McDonald's open in France if McDonald's paid a fee for a competitor to be opened as well. Because I think they can't just have all the fast food money going to McDonald's. They have to have a French company making money as well. So I think that if other countries did that too, then it would be smart, because then everybody can win. Everybody flourishes. You can go to McDonald's if you want French fries, or you can support a French company with the same. Options are always good. Right? We don't want a monopoly of anything. But yeah, when I think of the chocolate milk, the hot chocolate, it's just really shocking. I was beside myself. I was beside myself. I was like, did she just give me hot milk and powder? Hot milk? What have I been drinking all these years at McDonald's? I feel like everyone should. It makes everything better for everyone in the end. Yeah. 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 Local business owners is always a good thing. I've been trying to do that too. I've been trying to shop locally. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you end up just ordering from Amazon or whatever because it's convenient. But do it where you can. Do it where you can. And I feel good even being a VTuber because I'm supporting the Japanese economy. As always. As always. Always. I earn my money elsewhere and then I send all my money to Japan in exchange for materials and goods. I'm sure you guys can relate. I'm sure you guys can relate exactly. You understand what I'm saying. Yep. But it feels really good to support artists. To support artists in making custom work. Hell yeah, I do. Yeah, see? I knew you would understand. Yes, yes, yes. It's just so easy to spend money over there. It's just, the money just flies out of your hands. Yeah. And I remember another funny story was when, so I told you already that they gave me, that I got to live in the house. But I forgot a part where I said, they were like, is the house to your liking? Is the house acceptable or whatever? Because actually, yeah, I have a funny story about that. So they originally, I was supposed to live in a condo or an apartment or whatever. But I told them, I was like, okay, I can do that. Would you mind telling me what floor it's on? And they told me that it was on a really high floor. So I said, oh, I could do that. I mean, I don't want to be an inconvenience or troublesome, but I'm scared of heights. So if you have anything else, I would appreciate it. And then so that's how I got to live in the house. That's how I got to live in the house. And then, so anyways, they were like, how's the house? Is it okay for you? I said, absolutely. Thank you so much. There is one thing. There is one thing though that would greatly improve my life here. And they were like, what's that? And I said, can I get a kotatsu? Can I get a kotatsu? Do you guys know what you guys know what a kotatsu is? The table, like a table, and it has a heater underneath, and then it has a blanket. You want one? You want one? Yeah, see? There. So they got me one. They got me a kotatsu. They laughed. They laughed a lot. They laughed really hard. And then, but I did get one a couple weeks later. And it wasn't like a super expensive one, but it worked for my purposes. And then that's when I really felt like, okay, you guys, I've made it. I'm in Japan. When I had my kotatsu, I was like, I'm in anime now. Yeah, if you can get one, you totally should. I did try to get one here, from Amazon Japan, but the shipping is like the same price as the kotatsu, and you have to buy a converter, and you have to like for the plug, and it's a huge thing. The true anime lifestyle, exactly. But I don't understand why you're supposed to eat oranges. I never got that. I never got that. They said like the most relaxing thing is to sit under the kotatsu and eat oranges. I don't get it. I tried it because they said so, but I don't know. And the only thing is if you do have pets, then cats and kotatsu don't really get along. So it's not kotatsu. Cats like the heat, so they try to go under the kotatsu. So it's not good for them. So just if you do buy one and you have a cat, be aware of that. But the rumors were totally true though that it makes you sleepy. It makes you sleepy if you're under a kotatsu for a long time. I don't understand at all if somebody chooses to sit under a kotatsu and try to study. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It must be super hard. Your legs are all relaxed, and then you get sleepy. And so for me, I didn't have to study anything, but I used to sit in it for journaling, or sometimes I would read comics. So yeah, or I would eat. I would go to 7-Eleven and get those ice creams, and then I would go sit in my kotatsu and eat them. I sadly never got to try a kotatsu while I stayed there. Well, there's an easy way. There's a famous hot spring. If you like hot springs, there's a hot spring where their specialty is they have kotatsu at their restaurant. That's one way anyway. And I went there specifically for that purpose, because I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to enjoy the hot spring and then go eat dinner under a kotatsu. But it was too early in the season. Yeah, it was too early in the season. They didn't do it until later. So I just missed it. But yeah, it would be cool if they had an Airbnb or something that mentions they have a kotatsu. There's gotta be another way. So I think my plan will be to go to Japan and then buy a kotatsu and then bring it back on the plane with me. But like I said, because that's the only way to get a specific one. I would like a white one. The one I had was dark wood, but I would like a white one. But you still have to buy the converter. So I don't know. It's just something I would like. I would like in the future one day. I hope that you get to try one. I think you'll like it. It's just that the chair can be a little uncomfortable after a while if you're not used to it. But I feel like it's a true Japanese experience. I hope that both of you get to try it. Yeah, kotatsu. Yeah, there's so many. There's things like that. I'm sure everybody has things that they didn't manage to do within a certain amount of time. Like one of my regrets for Korea was when I was wearing the hanbok and I was at the palace. I had the opportunity to go to. They have like a tea place. There was a tea place in there, and it's the same thing as like when you went to Fuji Q. So it was a good timing. So the tea place wasn't very busy, so I had the opportunity to get an afternoon tea set while wearing hanbok. And I've never tried the Korean tea stuff, right? But I don't know why. I didn't do it, and I regret it. I regret that I didn't take that chance. When you move back to master the language, you definitely will. Well, there you go. So you'll do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe that you will get to do it. Something to check out next time you visit Korea. Yes. Yeah. And that way I can go to that shop again and I can get a different color hanbok. But this time I'll just say, hi, which one should I get? Yeah. And I remember they kept asking me, they're like, oh yeah, well, when I got back, the lady apologized because she forgot to give me a purse. Like there was a matching purse for the hanbok, but it was fine. I didn't need it. So that would be one way that my pictures would look different as well. I can have the little matchy purse next time. And then she kept telling me, she's like, can you please post the photos that you took today and post them on Instagram and tag us or whatever, because your coordinate looks great. And they're just saying the nice sale stuff. But I kept telling her, I'm like, I don't have that. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have that. So sorry. But it was nice that she said that. I loved it. Yeah, so next time I'll definitely wear hanbok and go to the palace. Or maybe I'll go to a different palace because they have more than one. They got lots. So, yeah. And it really felt like, I don't know if you guys watch K-dramas or Japanese dramas or Chinese dramas, but that was one thing that was very cool. I felt like I was in a drama being at the palace and wearing hanbok. I like those kinds of dramas with the historical clothes. sometimes the Japanese dramas, Japanese historical dramas that have kimono, the storylines are sometimes too complicated for me. So I think that they're beautiful to watch, but it's hard to keep track of the storylines. Yeah, that's why I like the Korean ones, because sometimes they're, I don't know, 16 episodes. I like that. And then the Chinese ones I also like, but they are on the opposite end. They're like 40 episodes, sometimes more, sometimes even longer. And I know with Netflix, so many shows are getting, well, yeah, like we talked about Squid Game, right? Squid Game. So Korean dramas are getting more popular worldwide. So now, maybe if I go to Korea again, instead of asking me about BTS, they'll be like, do you watch dramas? Are you a fan of Gongyu? Are you a fan of Squid Game? I bet you that's probably what's gonna happen. This year for Halloween, I was expecting half the world to be dressed as Squid Game characters. Never got into the live action stuff except Squid Game. Yeah, fair. Sometimes they're over the top. They are, some of them are like soap operas. Yeah. But it's whatever the scripts, right? There's also webtoons. I like to read Korean webtoons that have been translated. Yeah. Still haven't tried watching Squid Game. Okay, well, no spoilers. No spoilers. It's very intense. It's a very, very intense show. You wonder if your mom has? She probably has, honestly. I was surprised that literally everybody's watching it. One person even told me, they're like, they told me that they're happy that Korea is getting popular, but they said that they watched the show themselves and they don't get the hype. But I feel like almost everybody's watched it. You think half the people dressed as Squid Game? Yeah, right. The jerseys. I heard that the shoes were sold out like almost worldwide. You couldn't get the same shoes from the show. It's crazy. And before Squid Game came out, I thought that a lot of people were gonna dress up as that ship in Egypt that got stuck in the canal. I did see a couple costumes like that. People dressed up as, I think it was like Evergreen. I don't remember. But that was a huge news. Remember, everything worldwide, all the packages got delayed and because of that ship being stuck. Yeah. It was a long time ago. I feel like that was January. Yeah, the memes were hilarious. It was terrible, but the memes were very, very, very funny. Especially, like, I think there was a little crane. A little crane that was trying to dig it out, and people were like... One of the memes said, me versus my debt. That made me laugh really, really, really hard. It's still kind of weird growing up and no one guessed you were Korean. But now it's one of the first countries mentioned. Yeah, that must be like what the heck? What's going on? Yeah, it's so true. It's everywhere now. Whether it's K-pop, and I feel Korean food is also getting more popular. I mean, I can speak for myself. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Korean food. I'll say it proudly. And skincare too. Korea is getting really well known for skincare. So, yeah, and I feel like I get emails from artists who are touring. So Korean artists who are touring outside of Korea. So even their K-pop is really being successful outside. Yeah, like Sunmi and Red Velvet, and you know, I see all the little emails. Yeah, and the idols. I don't know. I feel like it is. It's getting super popular. It's very interesting. So I wonder if I go to a Korean restaurant now, it'll be more non-Koreans eating in there than before. Yeah. But nobody guessed you were Korean. Yeah, no, it's getting really well known for, and it's a small country too. Yeah, and I would ask people I know. I'd be like, well, you're from Busan. Do you recommend that I visit there next time instead of Seoul, or should I just go to Jeju Island? And then everybody's like, don't go to Busan. Busan is like boring. All they have is fireworks. And then I'll ask somebody else, and they're like, Oh yeah, you have to go to Busan. Busan has great food, and you love food, so you should go there. So, I don't know. I think we're all like that. Like, people will ask me about places that are famous locally to me. Like, oh, you live near here. What about this place? And I'm like, I don't know. It's whatever. But to other people who are tourists, it's high on their list. To me, I take it for granted because I live nearby. I'm sure it's like that with every country. You just take for granted what you're familiar with. It's definitely a biased opinion. Like, I wouldn't recommend anyone to come to the area I live. Exactly. But I'm sure that there's tourists who do, and they love it. It's just that we're so used to it, we don't see it that way. Yeah. Like, I'm sure if I ask somebody who lives in Germany and be like, yeah, that I really want to go there, they would be like, why go to Germany when you can go to Spain? So, yeah. But I'm definitely envious of people who live in Europe because everything is a quick train ride or a drive away. Yeah. Even in Japan, like, people can go to Hokkaido. There's a lot to offer. I wanted to go to Hokkaido because don't they have the hot spring with the monkeys? I don't know if I would go near them. I don't even know if people are allowed to go near the monkeys. Probably not. I wouldn't want to go too close to them, but that'd be a great photo to see them relaxing and chilling and having their own little thing going on in the hot water. Yep. I really want to go to the hot springs with the monkeys. Yeah, see, you want to go there too. I want to go there too. I want to see that. When I found that out that that's a thing, I was shocked. I laughed a lot when I saw the photos. And what do they do when they get out of the water? What do? They don't have towels. They don't have towels to dry them off. Nature is amazing. Nature is really, really amazing. Yeah. And I saw that some people were streaming. Yeah, I kept thinking about that. Won't they get cold? Exactly. I was watching people stream. I think there's a Jurassic Park. There's a Jurassic Park game, which I won't be streaming. But I did think it was interesting that the streamer, I don't know who it was, but they were talking about like dinosaur facts while they were streaming the game. And they said something like the Velociraptor or something in reality was the size of a dog. But in the movie, they make it the size of a grown man. So they sure fooled me. I thought that all those dinosaurs were pretty how we found the bones. But I guess the filmmakers have to have a little fun with it. Make it a little more scary for the movie. Yeah. I don't even know how many Jurassic Park movies they have made, but there's probably quite a few. Yeah, and now they were apparently feathered. What? Feathered? Dinosaurs? Really? I can't even picture that. Wouldn't that make them look like birds? That's kind of weird. Wow, what the heck? Yeah, a lot of new fossils have been found with feathers? What? Oh, well, they are the ancestors of birds after all. That is true. I forgot about that. I remember reading about chicken feet or something. Chicken feet is I just thought it was similar to dinosaurs. I didn't realize. Wow, so like a T-Rex with feathers? Yeah, I would still run away. Immediately. But that's pretty wild to think that that some of them or all of them had feathers. I wonder, do you know where they found the new fossils? Probably in a hot country, I guess. Or I guess in the cold. Because in the cold it won't I don't know, what word is that? Not dehydrate. I don't know what the word is. Decompose. Yeah, it won't. Oh yeah, decay, even better. Yeah, yeah, it won't decay if it's in the frost. Like when they found those ancient elephants, mammoths. Yeah, elephants are one of my favorite animals. I love elephants very very much. If if they made like little small elephants, I would totally buy one. If like a pet. If they were small and cute. They found some well-preserved feathers in amber. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I've seen the amber where they have the trapped bugs in them. Yeah. I got tricked by that once. One time, when I was a little witch, I was in like a summer camp, and I was told that we went to like a I want to say like a bug museum, and then they told all of us little witches that we had to eat chocolate-covered ants, or we wouldn't be able to go home. So we all ate them. Chocolate-covered ants. Those terrible, mean camp counselors. And they're probably laughing at these poor little girls eating chocolate-covered ants. I thought I really meant it. Like, I thought that they meant it. That I wouldn't be able to go home. Looking back, I don't know how I was fooled by that. I should have just said no. But I guess because all the other ones were eating them, so I was like, okay, here we go. That's why I say, like, no spoilers, but in Squid Game, I definitely wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. I believe in people too much. Like, another one would be, I remember I have a cousin, and they told me that this is like one of the old PC games, Wheel of Fortune, based on the TV show, and they're like, if you get the answer right, potato chips are going to come out of the PC if you win. So I played that game for hours, trying to get the potato chips. Children are not very intelligent, or some of them are, but I wasn't one of those. Can you imagine playing a PC game for hours waiting for the potato chips that are never going to come? Winning. I should totally get back. I should that cousin of mine has children now, so I should probably try and troll them back in return. Gotta think of something. Yes. Yeah. So that's why I don't know. I loved games even back then, but I did want food in return. I'm gonna put my hat back on. I missed my hat. Let's see. Hooray, there it is. Yep. Okay, well, I'm gonna go, you guys. It's been a pleasure, and thanks to both of you for coming back to my stream. I love chatting with you guys, and everyone else who's lurking and all that. Thanks for joining, and I hope to see you next time. And take care. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yes, thank you. Have a good night. Thank you. Sayonara. Sayonara. Good night.